Guys, we are rolling over now on the new stream. We've got a special show today. We're doing an FOMC show, so just go on to the other stream.
It's right here.
We just did. So thank you. Pardon me? Just stay on the stream. Stay on the stream. Sorry, Assassino.
All right.
So just stay on the stream over here, and then you'll roll over automatically. So special FOMC stream today with the incoming new chair, Kevin Warsh. Last but not least, Assassino, I just want to show this chart over here. So the spread column is the second last one, and then the third, again, optionable. It's a range. So these rectangles here, they give me an indication whether or not we're trading towards the high end of the day or the low end. Let's give an example. Look at how ICCM, very close to the right side of the screen. Compare that to this one over here, LNKS, pardon me, which has got a red rectangle and it's towards the left side. So that means it's trading closer to the low of day than it is the high of day. So I can just immediately see on my scanner where we are relative to the day's price action. Are we towards the higher end or the lower end? Those are the settings that I have on my scanner. I occasionally add and remove things, Joey, just to keep it fresh and to keep it relevant. But as a general rule, that's kind of what I have.
Good stuff, man. All right, guys. Yeah, so it did roll over here. Guys, be patient. You might have to open up a new chat there, Sharif. I don't know if yours is still moving there, but there's a lot of new people in there. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe. This is the new one. Yeah, go to the new one, my boy. Hey, it is what it is.
What happened, Joe?
No, as for looking for this potential long here, there it is. All right, so another uptick. If we can catch the top end of the range, so if we're going to correlate this with the actual underlying asset, guys, look at the bottom of my screen right here. Top end of the range is around $198, $200 call wall, starting to come back in. With that being said, we can post up at 862 on this bad boy. Oh, man, look at Robinhood go back up to 108.74. Yeah, this thing is going to hit $110 here momentarily, Sharif. I think by the end of the day, look at these micro pullbacks, and then off to the races it goes. Now, again, so you see me within the small cap land playing these high of the day breaks. This isn't necessarily going to be the case because why? We don't have that momentum and that volume. Even though the volume throughout the intraday session has been nice and steady, that's not a high of the day break scenario for me within Robinhood, all right? So actually, this is one thing that I want to do. Let's pull it up on our chart. So we're going to get a percentage metric on what we are up here today within this bad boy. It's a big time move in Robinhood, Sharif. So I'm happy about this one. Boom, bunch of tailwinds with this bad boy. How much are we up here today, Sharif? 12% on Robinhood, man. Man, oh man, what a session. A name that has been hit heavy down to the tune of 60%. So no one, Paulie. I don't know what you on about. Good to know. It says, cool. Paulie want a cracker? What's happening, Joey? That's crazy. Anyways, we'll head over to the options chain for Robinhood and see what we got going on there. Here it is, man. Robinhood. 96.6% implied volatility. 1 DT. This is crazy. I don't know how correct this is. We might have to hit the refresh or something, but the chances of there being... what the hell is even that? Assassino, because 23 contracts, 12 contracts, 100, this is small potatoes. We're heading up to $120 free roaming. No one's standing in front of this with shorting contracts, man. That's a big time move, and I like seeing that. We'll head over to a further expiration cycle. That's going to be 9 days away, and once again, nothing from an open interest standpoint. That's going to tell me we're going to remain bullish on Robinhood, rejecting it. This is what I'm talking about. You don't necessarily want to be playing the high of the day break as it rejects 108.80. Let's send things off to Adara.
Couple things to keep an eye on here, guys. Let's start with GME. GME, GameStop, just spiked here to new intraday highs. I'm seeing some speculation. This going back about an hour ago that during eBay's investor meeting or annual shareholder meeting, which took place at 11 a.m. Eastern, they passed Proposal 4 now. Apparently, Proposal 4 would make it easier for large investors like GameStop to potentially rally shareholders and force changes. People are saying that this Proposal 4 pass that happened at the eBay shareholder meeting earlier today could be a good look for GME. Again, this happened a couple hours ago, but just circulating now. Furthermore, AMZN on watch here. Keep an eye, if I can pull up the ticker here, on Amazon. The information reporting that the company is seeing more interest in its Trainium and Inferentia chips as companies are looking beyond a single vendor NVIDIA GPU strategy. So Amazon and GME on watch. Back to you.
1-0. 1-0 Portugal, baby. They're already up. How come it's not showing on my thing over here, Joey?
You don't got the score, my boy?
I do. It's not even updating, my guy. What's going on over here?
Give it a couple of seconds, man.
Couple of seconds? We're already deep. All right, who scored, Joey? Can't even see, man. This is really bad over here.
I'll tell you one thing. I don't
even know who this guy is.
I used to live in Little Portugal.
Little Portugal.
No, I'm being dead serious.
St. Clair and
no,
St. Clair.
Bradford, Ontario.
That's Little Portugal?
Dude, the majority of the town is Portuguese.
Serious?
And these people would flood the streets, and my boy Jesse knows me. It just made me, I would get so pissed when these guys would win. Oh, you know who I used to, I don't know, man.
There's so many of them.
Who's it? Benfica, right? Everybody was all about Benfica.
Of course, and Porto.
But Benfica, man, crazy.
Let's go to Adair, Joe. Yeah. I think there's breaking news.
Absolutely.
So the market is dropping here, and not sure if it's connected to these comments, but it sounds like President Trump's last answer here during the Q&A. He said this would be the last question. He said he might stick around for the Iran signing, but it also might not be the type of document that the president wants to sign. When asked by the reporter if it's something that, maybe he'll just put on the vice president if it doesn't go well, he kind of joked that that would in fact be the case. So it sounds like President Trump saying this is not 100% solid, as we already kind of knew here, this memorandum of understanding. It's not a deal yet. Not sure if it's a document he wants to necessarily be seen signing. So S&P 500 fluctuating a little bit. We're also getting a senior U.S. official reading out the formal text of the MOU. This just came out. So some of this formal MOU text, again, this is the U.S. and Iran memorandum of understanding. At a minimum, Iran would be agreeing to destroy its enriched uranium stockpile through downblending. They're also ceasing efforts to cut off traffic in the Strait of Hormuz ahead of the signing. Apparently, the MOU has already been signed, but either side can walk away until they get a binding deal. Again, they're apparently going to be taking 60 days to negotiate that. There will only be sanctions or relief if the U.S. gets to a final deal and if the Iranians, quote unquote, behave. The Switzerland meeting will be critical. Again, senior official reading out the formal text of the Iranian MOU. Back to you.
With that being said, and everything Adair just brought us, there was a volatility spike within the overall market. You can see the increase in volume here on the SPY and on the triple Qs, guys. This is going to be the largest print that we've seen in the past couple of hours. So the volatility is going to continuously kick in, and we know with the FOMC meeting, we'll have those volatility spikes as well. I'm going to be patient and wait for around 3 o'clock or so before I look to engage in any specific direction. You're going to have the Q&A. I think that's going to be a big one, and it seems like that's what you're looking forward to as well, Sharif, with Kevin Warsh himself after the rate decision.
Yeah, let's hear how he answers questions. Let's gauge his tone.
Yeah, this is
his
really
sentiment,
big.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Where he's leaning, what side he's leaning onto, and let's just see what he has to say. This is his first formal press conference as the FOMC chair.
Now, do you think...
So we can make a whole bunch of predictions ahead of time, but why do that? Why don't we just,
allow him
react,
to... absolutely.
And let's let him make a...
Okay, so then I won't ask the question that I was just about to ask then.
Go ahead, man.
No, I was going to say... No. So do you think that Warsh is going to be more strategic or data dependent, like Jerome has stated on multiple occasions?
I don't think it has to be to the exclusion of the other. It's just how heavily one person sways to the other as opposed to the other side, right? So you're saying he's strategic or data dependent. I don't think it's one to the exclusion of the other, right? Whereas, Jerome could have insisted that he sees certain data before he takes certain actions. Perhaps Warsh's Warsh's threshold would be a little bit lower in terms of the data that he needs to see in order to take certain actions or to make a certain decision, right? And so it's going to be, how, like when Papa came in originally, right? Nobody knew exactly how he was going to govern as day one. We picked up on his patterns and how he did in certain scenarios, and then we react to that. So that's kind of like, my thing is let's just wait to see how this guy acts, and what better way to judge somebody than when a crisis ensues? Yeah, and then to see how they sort of navigate that crisis, what kind of decisions they make. Okay,
I'm going to miss JP.
Pardon me?
I'm going to miss JP.
He's not gone, brother. He's still
I
on
know
the
he's still, but
committee.
he's
not the head anymore.
yeah, he's not the Fed chair, man.
We'll see if he ends up leaving. He said he's going to stay on and so long as the investigation is active. So that's the way it is. Okay, guys, there's a lot going right now. So let's get right down, get down to work. RXT's all gas, no brakes. Shout out to my man, Texas Jet fan. And there goes ICCM again, Tisha. I see you, Tisha. There it goes in a 9.25 again. We still got that staunchy seller in and around 9.5, but ICCM is moving bigly. So is GPUS. I was trying to get Bovin to jump on this one. He wasn't having it. 39.90. It can't seem to shake 40 for whatever reason. I've been watching the price action here on GPUS. I like 37 to 37.5 as a dip buy area to hold the 10 EMA. Also PDYN, the one that KC 526 called out. You might be getting a buy area here. Comes into the 10 EMA. Also, this is the area that we couldn't close above in the pre-market. I'm talking about that 7 a.m. high. It's not the candle high, obviously, it's a closing print high. So again, 6 3/4, 6 2/3, an area support here on PDYN. It's trying to trade back up. HYPD as well is interesting. Let's see if this one couldn't hold the 10 EMA at around 3 4/5. It's got a wick into 4, but it hasn't closed or printed above 4. And then AMC, man. Adara was telling us that GMC was moving. AMC's been moving all day. Shout out to Scott H for trading this one. He picked this up, I believe, at the volume weighted average price. And he's printing, obviously, on this one with a 283 high, showing some resistance here at 80 at 277. But, man, RXT and ICCM are both going simultaneously. Here comes $8 here on RXT. Shout out to Texas Jet fan. Great trade by you. Way to stick to your convictions, brother, especially through that flat top break at 760. Way to stick to your convictions, Tisha, into that 9.5. Both y'all printing. Couldn't be happier for either of you, for both of you guys. Fantastic look. RXT, high of the day, Momo. I'm calling it out right now, Texas Jet fan, man. I'm shouting you out right now. I don't know if you're listening or not, but good job on that trade, Joey. I'm going to keep my eye here on GPUS and the bunch. He is, hold on, Joey. You want to hear this?
Yeah, Texas Jet fan.
$20,000 in the money. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
I'll tell you something right now.
Hold on, Joey. You know how much
SSPC.
34 million shares.
34 million shares. 20K of that going into Texas Jet fan. So you live in Texas and you're a Jet fan?
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I was a Jets fan only because I had a lot of their players in my fantasy league. So this was early 2010s.
Yeah.
It was Sanchez, Santonio Holmes, I didn't want Mark Sanchez, but he had good numbers that year.
Mark Sanchez was dookie, bro.
He was pretty dookie. This year, that year actually they went to the AFC semifinal. They went to the AFC final. Sorry.
Yeah.
So they ended up losing to the Patriots, I think. But hey, man, he took them to the AFC final. So and the Jets defense for that year was number 1. That got me the most points. So I had Santonio Holmes. I had I didn't have Green at the time, but I had Sanchez and I had the Jets defense, and those printed me some good.
Oh, idiot!
Some good. All
right, man. You're
that year I actually had AP as well.
Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, of course. I had a bunch of other quarterbacks as well, man. Neil, what was that quarterback that used to play for Tampa Bay? He had a bit of a substance problem in the early 2010s. Yeah,
not Johnny.
Say his full
Johnny
name.
Manziel?
No, not Johnny Manziel. I'll get the name in a second, but I had him as well that year, and he didn't end up doing anything.
Yeah, well, when you're addicted to a little substance abuse.
Oh no, ICCM is halted down. Oh my days. Where is it? Sorry guys, can't even find freaking stock. Did I take this off? I think I did. GPUS, there we go. ICCM, ouch. It gets into that high of the day. Now it is halted down, 7:05, halt time, 1:15:29. Earliest open, 1:20:29. Tap, showing 660. Halt price, 7:05. Ay, ay, ay. It is a normal day for small caps, Tish. That's kind of the way these ones go. They're around for a good time, not a long time. Trade these carefully, Joey.
Netflix new lows. Yeah, I mean, man, listen, Sharif talked to me about the Jets. We by accidentally add double the amount of shares over here down there, but I just got out immediately. I'm like, what am I doing even trying to short SpaceX at this moment? We're going to have to wait for this trend line to be broken in order for us to find any form of engagement. But at this point, it's like uptrend, flat top right there at 198.08. I think we're going to just break through. Going to wait for the NASDAQ. I know we're going to get some plays off of that, and I can't wait for the imbalances here. Here later on today. So that's what we're going to be looking forward to later on around that 350. So another couple of hours away. So let's be patient. We had a beautiful trade on SpaceX earlier that really just put us right back into the game. And that's what we wanted, right? Like we take a couple of losses. This one removes the majority of our losses here today on that one, bang. But then we end up taking another one on SSPC, which is totally fine. We kept that contained and kept the virus contained, as they would say in some of the other scenarios. But
oh no, that's so bleak. The COVID, it just reminds me of COVID.
I was more or less saying 28 days later and 28 weeks later, the containment aspect of things. But yeah, virus. We did not keep that overly contained for a couple of years.
It found its way out of Wuhan. I mean, my bad.
What's wrong with that? But that's where it came from, apparently. Anyways, I was leaving Dominican Republic at the time, and like all this thing was on the news, and me and my boy were like, yeah, whatever. Anyways, comes to the point that I come home a couple of days later, and like,
was it the March 20?
Yeah, and everything was like shut down. And it's crazy. I went to the last. So this is how wild I used to be as an individual. Come home from a hiatus in Dominican, and then proceed to go to an all-day party in the city of Toronto on the 19th, and then the next day everything was shut down. Everything was shut down. So I was like, hey, at the time I was really happy that I made it to the last party, but then we proceeded to throw some more at the old condo there throughout COVID and everything along those lines.
Did you get a knock on the door? You never got a knock.
No, man. We had some good. I told you, man. COVID was unfortunately, aside from everything, COVID was an absolute great time for me, man. I had a great time during COVID, man. It was one for the books, that's for sure.
I did not, Joey. I did not. All right, guys. Let's talk about RXT here, because there goes RXT through $8. Shout out to my man, Texas Jeff N. Yes, John, you were thinking of Josh Freeman. Neil found it as well as, who I have to shut them out as well. Dark Skin Vern 7595. Yeah, he caught it as well. I just forgot Josh Freeman's name. Anyway, I hate to remember him as the quarterback with a substance abuse problem, but it's how I remember it. I'm sure he's a lot more than that as a person. So shout out to him. I think a bit of a short career there. He had a lot going for him, I think, in college, but it is what it is. I had him as well, and he didn't end up doing much for me that year. Who else did I have, man? I had Santonio Holmes as one of my wideouts. I had AP as a running back. Who else did I have as a wideout, man? I can't remember. That was a while back. Gives you an idea how long it's been since I've been in fantasy here. So I haven't played fantasy in a minute. All right, I've worked my way into GPUS. I'm looking for a 38 hold, okay? Got 39s on here. I'm looking for a 38 hold. In fact, I'm gonna add into 38, and then if it loses 37s, I'm out, okay?
All right.
Jets fans are sustenance abuse as their owner owns Johnson & Johnson. That's why stock is up. We depressed. Oh boy. Scott H. ICCM did an offering at $3. Okay, let's pull that up. Thank you for that. That's probably why it's halted down. Here it is. Great call out, Scott. Thank you very much. Show everybody what's going on. This is why it dropped. That's typical of these small cap gappers. As soon as they have a price move up, they're going to take advantage of the secondary offering that they have on their, is it the S1? I think something like that. Anyway, here it is. iCure Medical, developer of minimally invasive cryoablation technology that destroys tumors by freezing as an option to surgical tumor removal. Today announced that it has entered into a securities purchase agreement with a single healthcare-focused institutional investor for the purchase and sale of 1.833 million ordinary shares. Series D warrants, okay, and then there's warrants as well. So an offering, there you go, guys. About $5.5 million at about $3 a share. That combines ordinary shares and pre-funded warrants at a combined price of $3. So if you're wondering, well, what the hell does that have to do with the price action? That's typically the reaction that you get when a small cap gapper like this does an offering. The market doesn't like that. So usually it sells off at that point. So thank you guys for pointing that out, giving me the opportunity to mention that to the newer traders who may not be well aware of these small cap gappers right now. So I'm going to continue to watch GPUS and RXT, Joey. I feel like these might have an opportunity to go here. What do you got?
All right. Yeah, so thanks for pointing this out here. We have USO to the downside, guys, and it looks like it's going to continue on that path here, breaking through 114.48. Market to the north side. I want to go long here on SpaceX once again. I don't know what I was thinking about going short just yet, especially we didn't get that curl over and that turtle shell look that I was specifically looking for here on this one. So let's get this thing off our screen and start focusing on the actual underlying asset once again. There it is. Bang, we'll pull that bad boy up. And then here's USO, $114 all the way down. And listen, this isn't anything like silver. I did not trade USO well whatsoever throughout all of this movement. And that's what just really led me to not liking this asset whatsoever. Is just bang 114 to the downside. But throughout all of this hot garbage here, it was just not fun for me, and I couldn't wait to see the decoupling between that specific asset and USO or the market. Sorry, I should say. Now let's head over. What we do have to wait for is a trend line hold on SpaceX before we engage. I thought we were going to get this curl over in Tesla. Doesn't seem to be the case right now. Pull back into the volume weighted average price. 401.26 would be an ideal entry point. But look, guys, volume spike in decision print on the NASDAQ, and now we're slowly starting to climb higher. And I mean, there it is, a triple almost bottom on the triple Qs here, guys. And wait for the FOMC. Q&A at 2:30, which I believe is going to have a lot of influence within the market and which direction that we're potentially going to head in. And that's exactly what I believe a lot of people have been sitting on the sidelines here on today's intraday session. Robinhood up to 108.64. That's been looking pretty good. And then you're getting the slow recovery in SpaceX. Google hasn't been performing well. Gorb, I know you were talking about a NVDA short. Oh, Gorb's long gone. He's watching Portugal at this point. But nice call out from 209 all the way down to 206 on that specific name. Listen, there's a lot of open interest at a specific zone. Let's head over there and take a look at some of those calls that are currently open at that strike price, because this is going to play a massive influence on what happens and which direction we're going to head in the near term with this name. Now, what do we have to look out for? 127,000. Where's the open interest? Oh, okay, so that was different. I mean, there is a call wall at 210, but what we do want to wait is for the rollover into the next into the following expiration cycle. Okay, that's going to be a massive teller. And if those contracts continuously roll over, then we're going to see that downwards pressure within that specific name. Now, I want to look at the daily on it because it's just been chopping around. You had that breakout, and for a while I was calling it Microsoft 2.0, Sharif. I think it might fall into that neck of the woods. It just doesn't give me recovery vibes with what we're seeing right now. Maybe you get somewhat of a pullback and establish a lower high. But I think it's inevitable that we break this 197.71 level on NVDA.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh boy, ICCM, it's trouble here, guys. Where is it? Oh my days. Here it is. Sorry. Wow, trying to hold 6. Gap down pretty aggressively. The halt price was around 7. It's trying right now to defend 5 3/4. Back above 6 it goes. It's still up 190%, but it has lost.
Oh. That's a big, no, I'm just saying that's a big, it's a big move there.
That's what a midday offering does, right? It's lost VWAP. There was also that area at around 5 3/4. I'm talking about this area here, 5 3/4. It is being defended for now. That was a local area low when it lost VWAP, and that's kind of why I didn't look at this for a while, because we were in initially, and then it lost the trend, so I got out of there. But here it is, trying to get right back above 7. It's at the volume-weighted average price right now. Limit up is 743. That just flashed. Obviously, we got to get through 7 before we start looking at 743 here, but keep your eye out on ICCM. I'm in GPUS. I added into 38, as I said I would, and here comes 39.5. I've got 38s and change on this one. It's really had trouble clearing through 40. So we got a bit of a range here, about a 2-penny range, man. Holy, 38 on the downside, about 40-ish to the high side. Keep your eye out on that. But RXT continues to go Texas jet fan into 31.5% and through $8. It hasn't done a lot of volume, but it's been very predictable for the majority of the day, especially the breakout, guys, through that 7.5. So yeah, 7.5. We got that at about 1 o'clock. What a rocket ship this has been. 8 1/5, almost 8 1/4 here. Only done about 37 million shares, and it's only up 31 and change. Like, there's not a big mover, but a very, very steady state. We haven't even had a red candle here on RXT on the 5-minute chart since 1250. It's almost 130. So keep your eye out on this one. Very good trade by Scott on that. So shout out to him. Let's quickly go back to GPUS. No new prints. No new prints on this one. ICCM is it back above 7. Negatory. Back down into 650 it goes. Just want to remind you that the current bar low on the 5 is 575. If that fails, we could be headed a lot lower. I'm going to say something around 3.5 to 3 2/3. And let me give you my reason why. So this is an area of obvious support. You can just draw a horizontal trend line there and be able to see that quite clearly. So that bottom wick on the current candle, it has precedent from before as an area of support, right? Let's say this area fails, though, at 5 3/4. Well, the next obvious area of support is right here, the area low during the pre-market. And we broke out from that at 9:30. But look at that area low into 3 2/3, 3.5. This area fails, this could be a gnarly looking double top. In fact, the shape is already manifesting similar to a double top. It only requires one thing, that we fail the middle part here at around 575. Be on the lookout there, guys. It's stuck in a range, 575 to the high side, low side, and about 7 to the high side here, Joey.
Good stuff, man. Let's head over to our scanner actually here and see what we got going on. We had a volatility spike in Tesla where we punched through the high of the day, and then it comes back in immediately. Let's keep an eye out on this bad boy. See, look at this volume really uptick. I feel like it just liquidity grabbed some individuals up there and then decided to take a little bit of a move to the southeast. Now we're going to hold 403. Excuse me, that could be a good potential entry point for us here, but we have double topped on Robinhood at 109.20. This is going to be a key pivot, 107.27. If that breaches, then you might see a little bit more of a pullback, but it's been an absolute monstrous session for this name. You're up 12.5% at one point, and there it goes. Los Polios, I haven't seen you in the chat since Gaurav left, but that was a good print at some key support levels on the NASDAQ, and then now you're climbing above, and you're trading right at the volume-weighted average price, so watch for some volatility to step in. Maybe we break through some resistance zones, maybe we break through some support levels, but I want to focus on the detail within this price action. You can see that we have that volatility spike, but then look what happens minutes after. The previous 3 minutes stair step down on the pullback, so that might be able to give us some conviction within this trade here, a support level hold at 404.20. Maybe you get a little bit of a push back up into that 406 marker that we rejected pretty aggressively only minutes ago. Now, as for SpaceX, this wedge is starting to form, guys. At one point, we're going to break. We just have to be patient and determine which direction that's going to be. And what are we going to do with that being said? We're going to follow the volume. If it breaks to the downside and the uptick on volume steps in, okay, we buy SSPC. It breaks to the top side, volume kicks in, we buy SPCX, okay? So we have multiple scenarios that can happen, and I'm looking forward to see which one, because it's still in play. Don't forget that. What I want to do is actually head over to the options chain just to see over the past couple of hours how much our implied volatility has started to compress and decay, because that's something important. That can't be real. Wow.
Seriously?
No, it is. It's very real.
Dang.
We were talking, so 2 days ago, Sharif, we're talking about 230% implied volatility. That's now down to 95%.
That's crazy.
Yeah, man, that's a big time drop off. And that has a lot to do with that, just that cool price action within this rally up here, guys. So, yeah, a pretty good look in SpaceX. And especially if you're an options trader, you're having a really good time because you're collecting premium hand over fist at this point.
Oh.
Now, brother, I am long Elon fully today. Wow. We got some good stuff. SPCX 190 and Tesla 401. Let's go. Attaboy, Los Polios. God is listening to our prayers. Protect our puts, says Jesse. What are you guys short? Let me know. I'm curious to what it is. Jesse, I hope that everything is going well for you here. What we want to what I want to see is JPM. How have you been holding up here today?
Get it, Joey.
Oh, 336. Oh, Sharif, we put in it. No one's talking about this. How dare we? All-time high on JPM.
We got all-time highs?
Yes, man. We got all-time. Yeah, man. It's been a great little run here in the past couple of weeks within JP Morgan and Chase. Guys, man, shout out to Chase Bank. Do you bank at Chase?
No, I don't.
I know, obviously.
Aren't they absorbed to JP Morgan?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Did that happen?
So shout out to.
That's like, hold on. What's the other one? Lehman Brothers?
Yeah, Lehman
I
Brothers.
bank at Lehman
I
Brothers.
thought you say it's SPB.
Lehman Brothers. What
shout
a
out
great
to those
company.
guys. Yeah, great company over there. $337 was the all-time high on JPM. You know, we've been talking about this for quite some time. And how I don't want to talk about Google, to be honest.
Talk about it, Joey.
No, I don't want to.
You don't want to talk about it?
No, I'm going to talk about
the fact that it's the best performing Mag 7 name of the year.
No, we don't need it. We don't need to talk about that.
16 2/3, Joey.
Is it?
Yeah.
On the year?
On the year.
Bang.
Second best performing,
Yeah.
NVIDIA, 11 and change. Third best performing, the dead one.
On the year?
On the year, 11 and change on the year.
What about AMD?
That's not a
Oh
Mag.
no, it's not a Mag.
AMD's up 144%.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man. Okay, so how do you? What are your criteria to follow? Because I see you got big tech. I see you have.
I know. I include Uber and Netflix there because I didn't have anywhere else to include them, but they're not strictly Mag 7, obviously. So the Mag 7 starts from Meta.
Bro, get Uber out of there.
And I put SpaceX.
Get Netflix out of there.
I've invested in Uber, brother.
Oh, is
So
that why
I got to keep my eye on it. Yeah.
That's right. So wait, so once AMD hits $1 trillion, is that going to be included in your big tech?
It's like right below NVIDIA.
It's close there?
It's really, it's like in eyes view, right?
It's eyes view.
And then Broadcom right below it. Broadcom up 5 and change on the day. Have you seen my friend though, Joey?
Who's your boy? ASML, yeah, man.
Another 6,
dude,
Joey?
brother, you didn't hear me all day. Look at Applied Materials and ASML today.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Applied Materials.
And we got to shout out to Katina Man as well. His
Why?
Marvell is doing pretty good. 6 1/3 on Marvell, back close to 300. Broadcom's closing back in on 400 as well, up 5 and change. Who else is outperforming? Let's bring in so everybody can look here with us, man. ARM. Well, ARM usually does this kind of thing because it's such a small float. 7 1/3 or 7 2/3 on ARM. Intel with a headline today with their 18 AP up 4 1/4. Good strength in the semis today. As Neil mentioned, though, in the morning, the semis did get clipped yesterday. And you're also getting good moves here in Bloom Energy, up 3%, trying to close back into 300. But FCell recovering nicely. This is a swing trade that I have, up 10.5%. We were worried about this one for a moment, let me tell you. Let me tell you something. Because it did break down, right? We were looking for a couple of bull flags. I didn't add into this position, full disclosure, but we're still nicely in the money on FCell. I lament not having added, but that's neither here nor there. The ADRs are mixed. Crypto, ooh, we're closing in on 66, Joey.
Oh.
65.8 right now on BTC. What else do we have here? We got any outsized names? The miners are all green. You're also seeing, what's it called? Coinbase as well. Is it green? Where the hell is coin? Did I lose my coin there? Oh, my days. You're going to have to add it back, Joe.
Add it back, man.
Oh, it's right there. Up 2%. The military names are also interesting as well. You're getting some greenery there. And then as we've been talking about, AMC's up 10 2/3 today. Cybersecurity names, Pandub up 1 1/5. CrowdStrike up 1 1/4. They're both doing well on the day. Uh-oh, did you see Pandub? Up 53 3/4 now. CrowdStrike's up 46 3/4. They zig and they zag a little bit. You're in the lead. I'm in the lead a little bit here. Hood, as Joseph has been talking about all day, 12 1/4, back above $100.
Man.
The weed names are all riding high as well, man. All green as well. mRNA, Moderna up 8%. 52-week highs.
What?
I don't know. This is legit here on the Derna. Back into $60. Well, substantially below the 400 it was trading at during the pandemic, but hey, it's up 8% on the day. Let's continue to look down the watch list over here. Solar remains green except for FSLR, but you got Sedge, CSIQ, Enphase, Sunrun all in Greensville today. The aviation names as well, all green. Joby, that hot garbage, back below $10, 9 3/4. That one's going to give me an aneurysm, man. I just have so much of it. I'm out of the money. Yes, I'm not usually out of the money on positions, and this one has been, I'm not going to sell it. I just won't. Because I know the second I sell it, it'll rip up. They'll have like some sort of military headline, and it'll get cleaned out. RXT dropping here, says Texas Jet Fan. Let's load up RXT. 834 area high, dropping back down into 8,798 could be a buy area, brother. That's a 10 EMA on the 5, but it did precede with a topping tail candle. Now watch out. This one is not strictly a small cap gapper. So my analysis earlier about topping tails, this, that, and the other, this is a $2 billion market cap, right? It's not strictly a small cap gapper. So watch out here for the loss of trend on RXT, but it was a good one nonetheless. And ICCM, my days, this one defended quite well. What a hold there, and right back above into 8.25, but down now into 7 2/3. But hey, man, I was writing this one's obituary. I'm like, okay, we're going to go down to 360. Good hold here on ICCM. Adira putting a headline, Israel seeks to fast track Lebanon talks and reach agreement before full U.S.-Iran deal is finalized. I heard President Trump speak pretty aggressively, more aggressively than I had heard him speak in a while about Prime Minister Netanyahu's actions with respect to the Lebanon part of this conflict. He reiterated that they have a good relationship, but he also stated that he was bamboozled and bewildered with some of Prime Minister Netanyahu's choices and actions about, you know, the conflict in Lebanon, especially how it filters into the Iran deal. So I think he was pretty open about that. And, you know, he made pretty aggressive statements that Israel is nothing without the U.S. And he tends to be quite, you know, he has a tendency for hyperbole, obviously, but
Yeah.
you know, those are not some things usually U.S. presidents do say. So it was quite
Yeah, I mean, there's no filter on that man. That's for sure. He'll just say whatever's on his mind.
talks.
You are always on my mind.
Oh boy.
You know that song?
Which one is that, Joe?
Yeah. You are always on my mind. I think it's like this is the chat will know. You're always. It's an older one, man.
An older one.
Yeah, voice.
Okay.
Thanks.
Voice of an angel.
Yeah, I know. It's Elvis.
Oh, my mom loves Elvis.
There you go. We're getting a lot of different things here. I don't know if it was Elvis though. It was Willie Nelson. Yeah, it was Willie Nelson. Assassino, what are you talking about, man? It was Willie Nelson. You lying now. You're lying now.
Get him, Assassino.
I'm not even gonna lie. Jesse kind of annoyed me here today. I asked him if he would eat a poutine. He's like, ew, no, never. Like, bro, you don't even know like what it really consists of, man. This is man.
Easy.
Come on,
You
good
gotta
stuff.
find out what it is first.
Yeah, oh, okay, all right. Oh my God, why does it always do that? Anyways, let's go over our portfolio tracker, something that we haven't done in quite some time. Sean leading the way, still 74.7%. Obi still sitting in that second place with 38.9%. Your boy, Joey O right here, 17.8%. The next person in line is going to be Adara at 4%. Then we have Randy at 3%. And then Ramin holding on to a quarter on that bad boy. So let's see what else we got here. We'll go over the trade. No, Obi's in second place, but he did have the most days at the top. Katina Man with 257% to the top side with Marvell. That's going to be hard to beat, but we're all green across the board here. 47% in CrowdStrike, 3% in JP, and then we also got Walmart finally starting to recover right here. Whoa.
Happened, Joey?
I might be the only lad. I am the only lad and the only individual here who has all tickers, all 3 picks green, my boy. Let's go diversify. The diversifier.
Diversifier.
That is me.
It's a superhero name.
Yeah,
right?
man, there it is. But no, in all seriousness, guys, all my screens went away. I'll send it over to Sharif, but there's a couple of names that I want to talk about.
Absolutely. We're holding Gupus over here. GPUS seller at 38. There it goes. What do we have on this one? We got low 37s, looking for continuation, up possibly into 40. GPUS with an aggressive sell. I did get the opportunity to add a little bit over here, but this is not good enough just to add at technical areas, right? Especially if you get a nice bounce up. We need continuity, man, especially through that 40 penny level. So continue to watch GPUS as we get into the midday. Time is 1:42. Do not forget, today is the second day of the FOMC meeting, of course, and we will have the new chair, Kevin Warsh come on the podium and be taking questions, of course, after his prepared speech. All starts at 2:30. But before that, we're going to get the FOMC decision, widely believed to be just a hold of the current rate environment. So we'll probably get some reasoning after that in the prepared speech, as well as the questioning from the press of the newly appointed Fed chair. And it's going to be all ears. We're going to be listening to hear what he has to say.
I'm going to go over there because we're going to roll over it. You get 145, my brother.
So Joey,
I'm going to grab some water and then head over there.
Do your thing, man. Do your thing. We're going to be sending it over to Neil and Joseph in just a few minutes here. We're going to be rolling over, guys, at 1:45 as we typically do on the FOMC day. I hear Adair getting lit up at the big desk, and that usually means some news is at hand.
And lit up is actually a great word to use, Sharif, because the ticker for this is LITS, or LITS. The company is Light Strategy, and they just announced on their social media about 9 minutes ago that they're going to have an announcement tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. So again, penny stock right now, LITS. Pre-market announcement tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Likely going to post a reminder for this for those who are interested on X at TTV Research. And speaking of X at TTV Research, I have a glut of Fed-related content that's been posting over the last day or so, but especially over the last 2 hours. So definitely check that out on X at TTV Research. Going to try to hop on the wall for you guys to do a quick look at Warsh ahead of the meeting. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. I'll give you that decision live and in person on Trader TV Live.
Thank you very much for that, Adara. We're all looking forward to it, of course. Stick with us, guys. I mean, this is kind of what we do. You're not going to get, those watered down headlines. You're going to get exactly what is being said, who's responsible for saying it. And you're going to get an objective view from all of us anyway, right? We all have our leanings, but we all try to be as objective as possible. Here we go. There we go. GPUS recovering. Good green candle here on GPUS. We got some good size on this one as well. We got 36s and change. It says 37, but that's because it doesn't round down. Here we go. Looking for a little bit more now as we inch into 39.5. Good print there at 39.4. Looking for more. Here's 39.45. Looking for that half penny to come in. It is not readily apparent when that will show up. Let's go, man. We want 40. We only got a couple minutes left on the stream. I got a print on this. No, I'm kidding, of course. Not on my timeline. It's on its timeline. So let's just take some more profits there. But that is a gnarly looking green candle here on GPUS. I feel if we can take out that 40 penny level, we may catch some shorts offside if we're able to get through it. To me, that will create a bit of a bias that we can go into 50. And that's a decent move here for a 37 penny name to take 13 pennies. So that's what I'm really looking for. I'm looking for an aggressive move above 40, and then my bias starts changing, and now I'm thinking the $0.50. Here we are again, 39.5. There's a seller here at 47s. Can't shake it. Here's 49. Big size showing up at 49. Looking for a bigger move. Let's go ahead and post at 40, and there it goes into the high of the day, 39.90 now. Let's see if this one wants to pick up. Man, I'm fumbling the keys. Jeez Louise. How many shares do we have? Yeah, okay, good. Let's go ahead and post here. Still not above 40, but here we are again, accumulating right into that 40 area. Guys, we've done 305 million shares, albeit on a 40 penny name. But there's ample liquidity to get in and get out. Big size. And you're not really going to get hit here on the spread because the spread has been tight basically the entire day. So fantastic look here, Joey. We keep making new area highs, so keep bringing the good juju over here. So we're continuing to watch GPUS try to climb into intraday highs. Shout out to my man Scott. Neil, no smack talking about our Dallas Cowboys. Ain't that right, brother? I don't know, where did that remind you of, Scott? He hasn't talked about Dallas in a while. Were you talking about Dallas in the chat, Neil?
Don't worry about what I'm talking about.
I'm going to have to go back and look what he said.
Whatever I want to talk about.
Objective on the markets, but not on football. Go Bills, down with the Cowboys. Get it, Neil. Look, man, I don't even hate Buffalo, but he hates the Cowboys. That's the thing. I don't hate the Bills. But to be fair to Neil, if you lost 2 years in a row to the Cowboys at the Super Bowl, you might feel that way as well. So I completely sympathize with Neil in that regard. But hey, it is what it is. All right, guys, 147. Joey's at his desk. Neil's locked and loaded. Adair's at the big desk. We're going to take you into the FOMC starting at 2 o'clock. But let's throw it over to the boys. I'll see everybody tomorrow.
We're back. Thank you, Sharif. Well, I mean, Joe been here all day, so we're locked and loaded. We have just over 10 minutes. And, of course, that's not my GPUS position because I'm not in GPUS, the penny stock, but that'll roll over. I'm flat before the Fed. We're expecting no rate change here, but it is the first meeting for the new Fed chair. Walsh, I do suspect at 2:30 it's going to be one of these. You get the no change, and then at 2:30, once he's on the podium, we'll get a little back and forth and really just get a sense of, hey, did we get him on the dot plot or not? And if we don't, what does that actually mean for the Fed, not transparency, but in terms of the Fed letting us know what's going on in the future? They like to telegraph. We're used to getting telegraphed, and that's what's at stake, I think, with this meeting today. Will they still be as upfront about their forward look, or, as Walsh has preferred, do they want to keep things more flexible and not just give their projections so that they're more likely to stick to it? So I think that does set us up with a little bit of excitement here today. I can already see Adara's getting locked and loaded. She's always got something for you guys to prepare for our big Fed meeting.
Indeed, I do, Neil. Quick to the window, to the wall, coming through with you on Mr. Kevin Warsh. This is the new chair of the Federal Reserve. I posted this on X at TV Research. I reposted this about 20 minutes ago. You can certainly find it there if you want to read this, obviously, in better detail. But here's Mr. Kevin Warsh, and I wanted to give you guys a little bit of background because I do think it's pretty important. It's funny that people will think that he might lean towards rate cuts, generally speaking. We know President Trump wants rate cuts because this man was known for being really hawkish during his first tenure in the Fed. That's right. He already was a Fed governor. In fact, he was the youngest ever Fed governor in 2006. I believe he was 35 years old at the time. He later resigned in 2011. So he has experience in kind of a wartime, for lack of a better term, Fed. He was there during the economic crisis, the great financial crisis of 2008. So keep this in mind as well. He has ties to companies like UPS and Coupang as a board member, though obviously he had to give up a lot of these ties as the new Fed chair. But interestingly, yeah, again, hawkish, I think, is really key to remember, worth noting. And they even said in 2012 he thought the iPhone 5 would have a greater impact on the economy than the Fed's QE measures. So he's not necessarily been pro-Fed over the last couple of years, writing some not great articles, I believe, in the Wall Street Journal about the Fed in the spring of 2025 when his name started being circulated as a potential new Fed chair. But regardless, this is Kevin Warsh. We're going to hear, in his own words, about how he feels about his tenure as new Fed chair in about 40 minutes or so at 2:30 p.m. with that conference. But at 2 p.m., we'll get the rate statement. I'll head right over to that desk so we can give you guys all the Fed coverage you need. This is To the Window, To the Wall, and we're going to go back over to the trading desk.
Do you have any idea how much we want to finish the rest of that lyric? You can't do that
is that a...
Well, I mean, I can't finish it either, Dara. I don't want to, you know, it's a family. It's not really a family show. Our trading community is a family, so it's kind of a family show. No, let's set the stage for where we're sitting, right? Like at this point, you know, the NASDAQ is basically flat. Like looking at the Qs here, total and 100% inside day. No break of yesterday's lows, triple top at the highs, sitting at VWAP. What's actually strong, and I think might be more of one way or the other, more of a mover, you got the IWM. The Russell up here, more rate-sensitive names. I think there's a lot more at stake for the Russell. Yeah. They're holding off the highs. I think that's where the moves might be. Bitcoin, bit of a recovery. That could be interesting. Gold, silver will be on watch. USO's chilling, so we don't have to worry so much about that. I mean, headlines are always the thing, but after that spike we had in the middle of the day, I don't think we have to worry too much about oil futures. So at 2 o'clock, we should get the no change. I'm going to be looking at IWM. I still have some symbols that I like. I'll have IBIT up there. I'll have SpaceX up there. Still, it's right around that $200 level. But again, it's really just about, I think 230 is going to matter more.
Yeah, again, it's going to have his stance, I think, right? We're going to understand where he's going to be leaning, I believe, in the near future. I think the big question looming is because he's appointed by essentially Mr. Donald Trump here at this point. Neil, is he, again, I said it this morning, is he going to be an individual who listens to it? Is he going to sacrifice the Fed's independence to kind of listen to Mr. Donald Trump? I think those are some big questions that I'm looking forward to see because they will be answered. If Trump calls for lower rates, Warsh lowers the rates. You know the conversation's going to be brought up. Oh, where's the Fed's independence? Where's the Fed independence? Which is supposed to be a completely different entity than the government.
Look, the Fed's independence is supposed to be a lock. Somewhat how I feel like, I mean, Portugal's supposed to be a lock too.
Yeah, you've seen that. You've seen that. Yeah, let's go DR. Let's go DRC.
What?
Yeah.
No, I can't believe that's one. But anyways, no, I think it is a lot at stake. But I think no matter where rates go, the appearances are going to end up mattering here. Even the appearance of not being independent. That's the kind of thing that has shocked the bond market regardless. And, you know, when that happens, the market tends to, it doesn't ignore the bond market forever. That's the one thing you contribute. By the way, we're getting a little bit of a, hey, there's some buy-in stepping in here going into.
Yeah, there's a lot,
There's
man.
still 7 minutes to go, and the NASDAQ just did a little bit of a shot to the upside. The Russell just broke the highs of the day. So, I mean, congratulations here. I mean, the rates are going to hold. I don't know why we're getting so exuberant, but the bids are starting to come in. We're going to go back up to a dare. We still have 7 minutes to go, but nice little move up in the markets.
And as we get this move up in the market, as we wait,
Who scored?
Warsh, we have some comments from Societe Generale, specifically their U.S. head of research, making some comments about the Fed.
We'll get back to Adara quickly once we get the mic issue fixed. But we still have 5 or 6 minutes to go. As we said, there's not going to be any change. But let's go with the market. How about Nvidia too? Like everything's really starting to jump. Nvidia just busted through VWAP and looking pretty good. Wow. How's our good friend Tesla doing? Strong day for Tesla. That just went green.
Yeah.
Somebody wake up SpaceX at $200. Sideways at $200. Let's see if it can go. I walked past on the way back to the floor. I was walking past one of our algo guys, and he's like, "Yeah, surprise rate cut." I mean, if we get a surprise rate
cut. Jose say that?
No, it was Antcard.
Oh yeah,
that would be crazy.
That's crazy, man.
Now, what do we have? SocGen U.S. research head says no major Fed changes expected, but warns dot plot could move markets. Well, I mean, that's kind of what we expect. And the dot plot could be the lack of some dots or a dot on said dot plot, which, if you don't know, that's where each member puts their forward projection via dot on where they think rates are going to go, and then you get a broad sense of what the Fed is thinking based on what like the average is for each of the dots.
Well, Kashkario, Fed's Kashkario, I know that guy is a hawk left, right, and center, man. Yeah, Kashkario, that guy is definitely going to be on the higher end of the.
Yeah, and he's actually one of the 3 Feds that voted in a more hawkish way in that NASDAQ 4 decision last month.
I seen that. There was, I seen that at Adara. There was a couple other ones there. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, Crash Kari, man. Oh, that guy can grind your gears. But yeah, he's definitely a little bit more hawkish.
Don't trust a Neil that can't spell their name right. You can't trust that.
Oh, okay.
Can't trust that.
Oh, how do you spell it? N-E-I-L?
N-E-E-L.
Ooh.
It doesn't even make
really, they boys really kneeling over there.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, okay.
Can't trust
all right.
Oh, no, look, ultimately.
Neil Team 6.
It is Neil Team 6 around here. Shout out to Jesse Martinez.
Was that Jesse? I don't know if Jesse did that.
Was it Jesse?
No.
Jesse, was that you?
Yeah, I don't know.
But the Neil Team 6, I like that. I saw the logo too. Hold on a second. Let me find that if I can.
Sean, I don't know. I have to say something. I don't know if our boy's listening here.
It's just straight up. There we go. Neil Team 6.
Yeah, Neil Team 6, man.
It looks like me and everything. Boom.
Bro, it is you.
Let's do it.
What do you mean it looks like you? That is you. I don't know, man. I hope our boy Katina Man's listening because we literally have a whole room full of chairs, and I think Sean picked the most questionable chair here. Like I don't know. But yeah, market's starting to come back.
You don't get to complain.
Why?
I told you before the show
Yeah,
started.
but you know how
you
heavy
probably
this thing
wanna
is?
change
I
the
helped
share.
him. I helped him move it over here. It's actually pretty
Such a
heavy.
ridiculous take. It's shorting the markets right now.
Yeah, it is. Did you see the breakup in Bitcoin, Neil? We had we're up about 0.6% on that one, and then the market finally finding its way. It feels like, but we're still kind of stuck within this consolidation pattern right here, guys. Look at this. It's going to break one way or the other. It's just a matter of time until we determine how many more minutes until the decision. 4 to be exact, and then at 2:30 we're going to be listening. Actually, I better grab my thing so I can listen to what our new Fed chair Kevin Warsh is going to have to say here today. SpaceX to the downside. We're now south of $200.
That too.
Yeah, I can. We're now south of $200 once again here, Neil. Applied Digital finding its way and recovering. I mean, man, oh man, this would be a name that I would like to own at some point, but I just want to allocate too much. Applied Digital, unfortunately, not making the allocation list for us here, Neil.
Yeah, there's some names that really did some decent spikes in there. Like basically everything but SpaceX caught a little bit of an early bid. Just be careful. Just because it bumped up, we bumped up before 2 o'clock doesn't mean you have to get continuation. So you want to be a little bit cautious here. Now, ask if on the outside chance that the 99.9% chance that there is no move in the rate, if that turns into a surprise cut, my guess is any attempt to get long will be missed because the algos would eat up. But you know, you can have your fingers on the keys just in case. I would suspect that like the Russell would go ham in that moment. Just about anything you try to punch would probably be a good long. I just don't think we're gonna get it. You can be ready for it if you're in position. You can have stops, that sort of a thing. Now, I wouldn't be trading without stops. I don't like being in position going into 2 o'clock because oftentimes like the first thing is like the rubber band trade where we just fly in one direction. We'll see if that even happens today. We fly in one direction and get a quick revert. So when I look at something like the Qs, it gets like you get up to like this 735, maybe even press a little bit into the highs, and then it reverts, or same thing into the downside. One of the stocks I'll be looking at, rightfully guessed by Scott, is SMCI. Like if I'm looking to fade something, it's probably going to be SMCI because there's some obvious levels that I can work off of. Or, as I said before, the Russell. We have 1 minute to go here. Might as well just stay with you because we have the decision in less than 1 minute, Adair.
Yeah, and I'm going to be here to take you guys through the decision, which is why we're right here. It is currently 1:58 p.m. Soon it will be 1:59 p.m. It is now 1:59 p.m. And in just now, 55 seconds, we'll be getting that interest rate decision forecast here, 3.75%. We're also going to be getting the next year forecast, the next 2 years, the long run, and the current. So right now we're seeing the next year, it'll be 3.375%. Next 2 years, we're looking for 3.125%. Long run, also 3.125%. And the median rate forecast, 3.625%. All these numbers that I was just listening to you now, those are going to be in the SEP, or the Summary of Economic Projections, often colloquially referred to as the dot plot. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get into the number itself. Once I get the statement and the SEP, I'll give those to you guys and I'll show them. But right now we're going to focus on the number. Again, guys, now just less than 20 seconds until that print. We are looking for 3.75% as the forecast. This will be interesting too because as of late, the CME FedWatch tool is showing that we could be getting rate hikes in December, not much chance of a cut. 4 seconds down. Will we get rates held in place as expected? We're going to find out now at any moment, just waiting for that number to populate for us. And then we'll take a look at the market. Sounds like the market is dropping, and the number is, I'm seeing already these SEP numbers, actual print here, 3.75%. So as expected, no change. I repeat, no change. For the rate forecast, we're actually expecting the next year higher than expected, 3.625% versus 3.75% expected. Next 2 year forecast also higher than expected. The only time where you get a lower than expected rate forecast is going to go in the long run. So market dropping here. Again, some of these rate forecasts down the line, specifically in the near term, higher than expected, but the number itself, no change as we expected.
So look, no change is expected, and the Russell just got moked to the downside. That means it went down a lot very, very fast if you're not into the Urban Dictionary. No, the Qs as well, absolutely flushing. This is what happens when you want it to pop so you could fade. Instead, like the rubber band is having to try to catch. What do you feel comfortable catching a bid on? Q's about to go red, Adara.
Yeah, and I think the bigger thing here as well is that the Fed has removed their statement reference to additional rate adjustments. I guess in their earlier statement, and we know this was a bit contentious at the last meeting, there was a reference to the possibility of moving rates further. That's gone. So that suggests that they're at the very least they're going to hold for a little bit longer here. It was a unanimous vote, though. So the first unanimous vote after 7 votes of some kind of dissent. So interesting look here for the Fed. I'm waiting to see that full statement. I think I'm just pulling it up now. So give me a couple seconds to go through this.
It's unanimous to hold is the market's not going to love that. I think you probably wanted to see some dissents that might have wanted to cut, but not in this particular case.
But
unanimous.
You can't though at this point.
I'm not saying you can't.
Because with the increase in energy prices, right? So I think that's just really the narrative now. Is it temporary? I believe so. Once the price of oil continues to fall off like it is, but really. What I was about to say here, Neil, is at these times, I think if Jerome Powell were to be at the helm, you would see it'd be like cue Donald Trump truth coming out right now. But I think he knows where he stands right now. He essentially created this increase in inflation, so he can't scream lower rates because now is not the time. Energy is too expensive. The cost of gas is up there, and hence why we've seen a little bit of an uptick in some of the CPI data print. Now it's completely different. It's definitely completely different if you X energy and the cost of food. Completely different scenario. But there goes the market.
Also, we didn't get a dot from Warsh.
From Warsh. Yeah, no. I didn't think we were going to get one. We are. So yeah, there it is, guys. The NASDAQ to the downside, the SPY putting in a new low a day, and everybody's screaming, "Protect our puts." There's nothing to protect now. These things are very, very strong, and you can see off to the races we go in the overall market. So, guys, this is a big-time move in the NASDAQ, crushing through some support levels, and the same thing with the SPY. The market will find something to sell. Now it's only a matter of time. Our boy Gorb and Los Pollos mentioned this yesterday, that we are going to be sending over, or we're going to be filling this gap. Yeah, Dara.
For 1 year, half of the Fed members currently penciling in a potential for a rate hike in 2026. So that is 9 of 18, one half. Let's talk here, Wills, about this rate statement. It's on your screen. Let's go through it. So one of the biggest thing here is that they're saying that job gains have picked up in recent months. That's interesting. They also say the employment rate has been little changed. But then they get rid of a lot of statements here about the possibility of adjusting rates, which you mentioned earlier. They also got rid of the entire 4th paragraph, which is about assessing the appropriate stance of monetary policy and monitoring the implications of incoming information. This suggests they're not really looking at incoming info right now. They already have their outlook more or less set in stone, which is A, interesting, and B, maybe a bit of change of pace from what people were expecting from Warsh, who doesn't generally like to be too forward-looking or too committed in terms of what he's going to say going forward. So interesting look here from Kevin Warsh. We're now apparently seeing additional Fed tightening after the dot revision, which, as Neil mentioned, included a dot from Warsh. I'll also pull this up for you guys. Here's the SEP, not the dot plot, but just in terms of how they think things are going to go going forward. Change in GDP, they're seeing 2.2%. That's actually lower than the March projection for 2026. Unemployment rate actually seen a little bit lower, though, versus the March projection. PCE inflation, guys, this is notably hotter. 3.6% here is the projection versus the March projection of 2.7%. Core PCE inflation also seen as hotter than it was seen prior. So interesting look here. Back to you.
Yeah, remember the implications of him not giving his dot was that he could advocate for basically getting rid of it altogether. That's the kind of transparency the market likes. The market doesn't like uncertainty. And if we're going to get more of it, and meaning less of, not transparency, but less of the forward look from the Fed, yikes, and more yikes. It's not about the fact that they didn't cut or raise rates. We knew it was going to be a nothing burger. It's a fact that it's somewhat reaffirming that we're still in the chance of rate hikes, and you might not be getting that future signal. So more uncertainty potential going forward from the Fed. That is going to be a spicy meatball. I'm trying to grab, if we get, look, I'm not chasing. We always talk about the rubber band and that 230. I still feel like the 230 is usually the bigger one, but I'm looking for Intel bounce and VWAP here, but we're really starting to fall.
Look at this. Bitcoin went from up 0.5%.
Just getting smoked.
Just getting absolutely destroyed. Man, Bitcoin, absolutely disastrous. With that being said, we have to look at at the very least, Neil, we have to look at some of the financials. A big-time session here today, still holding up okay, not with the tech sector. The NASDAQ and the SPY absolutely getting destroyed here, guys. Almost an implosion at this point. Now, 335 cracks through that support level, but we're still holding on to some positivity. And here's Bitcoin, right? Like, look at Bitcoin I don't know why I have to do that. It's not that complicated here. Now I have to click multiple buttons. Bitcoin, just absolutely, like, think about this. From 9:30 in the morning, you grind higher. You go up 2.5% from the intraday session. That is gone. All day grinding, Neil, gone in the span of 10 minutes. Now I have my eyes on the NASDAQ. Be prepared. You're going to have to extremely size down. But at some point, I do believe we're going to get a little bit of that elastic band effect where we snap back a lot of volume, allow that selling pressure to cool off, and then you might be able to find somewhat of a move back in towards some resistance zones. But I just think with the amount of volume that has stepped in with the market here today, that it's wait until we completely curl over and you'll find some form of continuation to the downside. You brought up the IWM not too long ago. This is absolutely disastrous for the Russell 2000 if you ask me. And if we're talking about rate hikes, this is one of the major averages that are going to get hit the heaviest here, Neil. Down substantially off of that 295. You're now down to 291 with that 297 all-time high. I wouldn't be surprised if we see some more selling in the Russell 2000 in the coming days.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised either. And you're also seeing it with the metals. Gold, GLD just dropped $7 here. From cruising and strong all day to losing 400 and continue to go down. We got SLV as well. That's even more distinct here. That just dropped 3%. If we're getting the rubber band effect, this might be a spot for like a scalp trade here. The other thing I'm looking at is I want to be able to get the short pop in SPCX and SMCI. But once I see a bottoming tail on SLV, I'm going to take a quick shot. I think the rubber band trade at least until 230 is going to be the plan of action. That either means something gets bounced distinctly, I can look for a short, or just try to grab something quickly off the long side. I'll give you an idea of what I'm staring down with SMCI. I was short this earlier. This 29 in here, the even dollar bottom, or if I can see even a small curl up at 29.25. Those are the two spots that I would look for. Yes, TX Jets fan. I do see Rackspace, RXT making some moves. All right, there's some buyers starting to step in.
Yeah, they are, man. Big time.
Just wanted to see this finally show buyers above that low and try to jump into it. Again, it's still got a bit of a gap, so I'm not letting this pass the low of the day because the actual gap is way lower as we say it. So that'll be a quick in and out as SLV just goes slam down. All right, I guess we're gonna stick with the short the pop scenario. So that just came out and SMCI just came in. So looks like we gotta stick with the original plan, which was to fade SMCI. I do like rubber band trades, but we'll go back into something which we've basically been looking for the south side the entirety of the day. Oh, and keep in mind, everybody, we still have 20 minutes until Warsh. Oh, the fixed position board. Until Warsh hits the podium. You'd never really know what is going to get said and what is going to get asked, but I feel like what I want to be locking in on is the notion of, is the Fed going to be letting us know where they're going to be going in the future? I think like that's, to me, that's what I want to hear.
Yeah.
Where are they on that? Is he going to get rid of the dot plot? Is he going to advocate for that? Like, forget about rates for a little bit. I know that matters, but I feel like that's going to be more. Like, what kind of a Fed are we going to get? And if he talks heavily about that in the wrong direction, meaning we're not going to have the dot plot, I think the market won't like it. Adara?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
No, that was just
that was just
thing.
okay,
Yeah, PIMCO Global Economic Advisor declared a Fed getting the U.S. ready for rate hikes. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised by this here, Neil. Employment is strong. Yeah, we're seeing the increase in oil prices as well too. So I wouldn't be surprised, guys. Quarter basis point hike potentially on the horizon. I don't know if they'll go 50 bips, but I can definitely see a quarter coming into play. They don't want to raise too aggressively, and then unfortunately you're going to see the initial jobless claims start to climb a little bit higher, and the unemployment rate definitely start to uptick a little bit, especially if they start to raise rates too heavily and aggressive. I don't think they'll go more than 50 basis points. Yeah, 25 by 3. I can see that happening slowly. Yeah, I think I can most definitely see that. But what is that going to mean for Warsh? What's Donald Trump going to have to say about it if Kevin Warsh is the one who's being a little bit hawkish, and which is kind of weird to say it's hawkish and raise rates? I don't know. It's definitely a tough position to be the Fed chair, that's for sure.
That's the point.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry.
It's very much
a river.
true.
Like
yeah.
that's the point. Like you
Yeah.
get to decide something. I'm not going to go on a very large rant about free markets, and then the one most important thing when it comes to markets is money, and that the thing that controls money is debt, and the thing that controls debt is interest rates, and that is not free ranging. It's literally controlled.
Yeah.
So how free are the markets really? No, that doesn't really matter. But you want to be in that position, then you got to make the tough decisions. So
Yeah, absolutely, man.
like we'll see what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if we heard something from the president this afternoon. But it's
You think he's gonna X something out here,
Well,
truth something?
It
I
wouldn't
think
surprise
so.
me. I predicting it or waiting for it is something that I feel like is not the right approach, because if you're waiting for him to say something that might boost the market or whatnot, and if it happens, it happens. But I think you got to keep your ear to the ground. We've got a Dara locked and loaded behind us, so we know we're going to be ready to go with
Absolutely.
more or less everything. So it took second shot at SLV, probably could have scalped it, didn't. It's like, yeah, on Fed Day, Neil, when you can take 20 or 30 cents, maybe you should. So this time I will if it gets back up into the 40s, and I'm just going to hang with SMCI as long as it holds underneath these prior lows. It's already got one topping tail, so if I see it start to reverse, then I'm going to maybe jump some more shares and look for a retracement back into the bottom. So we're looking for a rubber band on SLV because it went so far to the downside, but more of a continuation on a theme that I just liked on SMCI. And one more thing to watch. Somebody's been selling the boat on SpaceX at $200. Like, it just couldn't get past that in the morning, couldn't get past that pre-Fed. I think that's a good level to watch this afternoon. Just needs to creep a little bit closer, and then I get interested in some SpaceX. Obviously, SpaceX has been like the vehicle to trade. Are they any more rate sensitive than anybody else? Not really, but it's in play because it's SpaceX, and it's still the hot thing.
Absolutely, I agree. We took some Robinhood, Neil. I'm just trying to put myself in a position of strength here. I mean, we had that pullback. It didn't sell off as aggressively as the rest of the market. So with that being said, we clearly know that there's buyers engaged within this name. You get that pullback through key support levels, and what happens? You have buyers step right in. So you can see we're in at 107.63, and then we had a high of approximately 108.24. Now we want to wait for 108.60s before we take anything off. Why? Because I have to give it $1 to the downside to prove that I'm actually wrong. Could we have gotten a little bit better of a price? Absolutely. But here with Robinhood, we're at the highs, we're up over 12%. Now let's see if we can continue on that path. I don't want to talk about APLD too much because I personally don't own it. I don't know if anybody here does own some Applied Digital, because this thing is an absolute sleeper, man. Yeah, I would love to know if you do own Applied Digital for your long-term or swing account, please put it in there and let me know. So, ooh, that was an aggressive one. That was a dark pull. Don't forget, this thing gets a little finicky at times. We'll hold on to this. Keep your eye on the tape. If you're looking for genuine prints, we got 10 cents right now. Have to be prepared to get out. I'm more or less waiting for the imbalances, Neil. I think they're going to be a really good one here today, and then we'll look to take advantage. Maybe put on some mocks. I got to make sure my mock keys.
Remember, tomorrow's witching because of Juneteenth.
Oh wow, I don't have my mock.
So that changes
keys.
everything. You don't have your mock. No, so tomorrow ends up being witching because it's a holiday on
Not
Friday.
on this one.
So you've got the end of the week, options expiration, all that good stuff. All right, is it going to be round 3? I might take a third shot at this. I'm willing to go.
Oh, okay, I do have them.
But as long as this holds, like this is the gap fill I'm looking for. As long as we hold on to this, like the rubber band trade is like VWAP is $1.50, and I want a piece of it if we can get it. Adara, just.
Yeah, let's talk here about the Fed vote. This is significant. This is the first one, again, after 7 meetings of dissent where we had zero dissent. So this is pretty significant. All Feds voted in favor of no rate change. What's interesting, too, I was reading as well some of the interpretations of the rate statement, which, as I mentioned, was massively overhauled. It got a lot slimmer. They took out a lot of paragraphs. The Fed under new Fed Chair Kevin Warsh is going to be viewed as more resolute and less dependent on data than Fed's Powell. The language here is a lot sharper. It's a lot more concrete. So this is going to be kind of an interesting look here to see what Kevin Warsh says during the press conference. Already here, kind of no nonsense here. We know the dot was absent from the dot plot. I mean, we don't know who didn't submit a dot, but it's easy to assume that it could have been him. We're going to have to wait and find out. I'm sure that probably be one of the first questions he gets asked at 2:30. We're 15 minutes away from that meeting. I have the stream on the second that goes live. I'll keep you all posted at 2:30 p.m.
Well, I think it's fair to say it's him. I don't think we're in a stretch. The speculation, he spoke out heavily against some of that leading stuff before. So in my opinion, it was always going to be him. We thought that was going to be the case, and then he ended up not doing it. So, well, somebody ended up not doing it. Presumption is that it's got to be. It absolutely has to be Warsh.
Yeah.
It's what it means for the future. Like, does anybody abstain the next time? I think that, in my opinion, that's bad. I think that would be bad. Not bad for the markets. My opinion doesn't matter. I think that would be received as bad for the markets is the best way to think about it. I don't think the markets would like it. I don't think the bond markets would like it. Whether or not, I don't really have any strong feelings about it personally, to be honest with you. The argument that you want to be flexible actually makes a ton of sense. And you can't argue against human nature because one of his points was if you put a projection out there, you are more likely to adhere to it. Think about it as a trader. Like if I sit down in the morning and say, I like this stock at $100, and like no matter what happens in the market, it gets to $100, I'm going to want to buy it. But what if everything about it at that price looks terrible and stupid? You're still more likely to make that mistake because you did that. So I actually, like from that standpoint, I actually agree with his reasoning. I just still don't think the market will like it.
I like the fact that Adair brought up the point that they're speaking is that, hey, he may not be as data dependent as the previous chair, right? So what does that mean, in my opinion, Neil? Is he going to be more strategic? Is he not going to wait for certain economic data to come out? Like, is he going to try to front run maybe some initial jobless claims, CPI increase, and then base the rates off of that? I think that's what's really important because we know that Jerome Powell, throughout his tenure, was stating that he was data dependent. And at times, I think that's what really gave him the name too late because inflation did rise up to around 11%, which is probably a little bit too late. And that's because they had data dependent.
I mean, if you guys think you got it bad, at least you in the U.S. recovered better than we did in Canada. It's like, Don't get me started. I know I've already started. Just a quick housekeeping. The third attempt is bouncing, but I just want you to have a look at where we are at on the Qs. Like the Qs back to 30,000, like SLV, which I think fell, from what I was looking at, probably near the most, is really slowing down. I might take another leg out here. There's still a full 10 minutes plus until 2:30. So if we think the big moves are at 2:30, then the scalp trade will have to wait and be done. And yes, you're right, big lion. Canada went into technical recession mode recently.
Yeah, man.
That's just how we roll.
The economy is literally not growing.
It's just how we roll. Hey, man, when you've got oodles of natural resources, right? All the fresh water you could imagine.
The most on the planet.
All the energy you need.
Yeah.
When you've got it all, that's exactly why you should have the worst recovery from the pandemic. That's why.
Well, there is things that are kind of, at least there's a lot of regulations.
We're kicking butt in hockey.
We're not even we're not even winning. It sucks. Dude, we really aren't winning.
Woosah.
We really aren't. We really aren't winning. You got to understand. There's reasons why we can't just exploit all of this stuff, all of our natural resources. There's.
I don't want to get too.
No, we're not exactly, but there's reasons why. And listen, it hinders the country. It hinders your growth, especially in times of need. That's just where we stand as a nation. So yeah, if you want to win, probably do the opposite of what we've been doing for the last little bit.
Oh, here comes the IWM back into.
There goes Robinhood as well too, north of our target at this point, Neil. Let's see if we.
Robinhood is a beast, man.
Yeah, it is a beast. I want to just put myself in some places of strength here. Let's see if we can get another additional move up to 109 potentially. We're really starting to pick up some steam. So with that being said, don't want to get too greedy. We were talking about target. Let's take it off there just where we did. Neil, there's only two things that are sure in life, right?
Two?
It's these two.
Wrong. It's not just death and taxes.
Oh.
The undying and unquestionable love from your kids, if you have them.
I don't know if that's. Are you sure? That's 100%?
Huh? Excuse me? Huh?
I know, but this is a genuine question, though.
Yes.
You did. So you.
Yes.
So you think that it's the one of the most sure things is that as a child you love your parent?
Don't shoot my, don't crap on my moment.
But I know, man.
Okay,
but I'm
that's just how I feel. But yes, that's how I
you.
feel.
Yeah. It's a little.
Look, man. Maybe it's not realistic, and maybe I'm being but I think so. The other thing that you can guarantee, at least this, is that we will have to answer every super chat because
absolutely.
we got to. Thank you, Eclectic Passions. $3.33. If there's a deeper meaning behind it, let us know. Uncle Wash, wash out, good for the spy bear. Go Joe. Uncle Wash. Is that what we call it? Are we calling him Uncle Warsh?
I'm not a spy bear though. I'm the opposite of a bear, man.
Adair's coming back to the desk. She has an idea for a nickname. What are we gonna call?
Yeah, what are we gonna call him?
Look, man, you need a nickname. You gotta have it. It makes it fun. Adair.
Today he's Warsh Sale. Oh.
See, now that's a trading nickname right there. War Sale. I mean, if you're a trader, you should know. Uncle Warsh is in there. I don't know. I just know that we need to get rid of. We have to do something about this button because there's no point calling the ex-Fed chair on the phone. Like, what we talk about? Golf. How much is he going to charge on the speaking?
Yeah, I like that one. Slow motion show. Wart.
Yeah, I'm starting to think. I'm going to look for the other direction now. This SLV.
Yeah, we're gonna. Again, you get that pullback. You have the elastic effect, and then you eventually start to curl over here once again.
It's only 7 minutes to go until the podium.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what we're waiting for here. In the meantime, I was listening to Death and Taxes by Daniel Caesar because someone mentioned that stuff, so I figured we put that on. But I'm looking forward to hearing this man's first speech as the Fed chair. I think
Kevin Harsh.
Kevin Harsh.
Yeah, nicknames aside, sorry, I just want to take a quick look here at the CME FedWatch tool because right now we're seeing the possibility of a hike in October, 44.2% chance of a hike. Now, as far as I've seen, this is the first time since we started seeing these hike odds that we've seen the chance of an October hike. The earliest I've ever seen here was either December of 26 or January of 27. Again, guys, October 26 could be a rate hike. As far as the June meeting goes, we've got a 98% chance rates will be held. No chance of a cut now until June of 2027. So that was the same that we were seeing before this decision. Again, guys, the hike odds are getting ever closer to the present. Back to you.
As usual, Adair, but I should do it this way.
Thank you very much, Adair.
Maybe we can get an ad in this position.
Green Day, I bet he does not say transitory.
That's fair. Do you want to head over to the poly markets
I
to see
haven't looked.
Kalshi to see
mean,
what
usually,
he might say
I'll
on
throw it to you, and we have a quick look if people are interested.
Okay. Yeah, I think a lot of people are interested because now we're all about the prediction markets here, Neil, to see what we got going on there. I'm looking for an ad opportunity, guys. You see that we got 12 1/5% roughly here on the Robinhood. The Robinhood is crazy. On Robinhood itself. Long from 107.63. A pullback, and as long as we hold my entry price, we can breach the support level at 108.20 and then come back in, hold 107, and then I'll just double up my position for that break of the 109 level here today, which I think has the ability to be breached, considering it's definitely one of the stronger sectors of today. JP Morgan's Michelle, I think it's possible to have 2 rate hikes this year. Now, I want to say something. When I first started, trading, Neil, and this is in January, like full time, when I had the ability to sit home, listen to certain news feeds, and hear what everyone had to say. Now, it was insane, and we're going through QT at the time, Neil. So you had rates being hiked, and I heard within that first year, people predicting 6 cuts. And it's just like, how is that even possible? It's not possible. And I don't think that's going to be the narrative. I think one thing that will remain is that you don't increase rates one meeting and then decrease in the next. So it would be higher for longer or lower for longer, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think you don't want to be in a flip-flop mode.
No, you don't want to be in flip-flop mode.
On that, but at least for now, the market, look, the NASDAQ just I don't want to say regained, lost the 30,000 again. So remember that 30,000 level? We just lost it again on the NASDAQ, heading back down. I cut the silver long, and we get what we got going into VWAP and SMCI, and I'll just look for this to bounce off the lows. Because there's still 5 minutes until we actually get the press conference, I do want to take some profit in. Make sure we get profit because anything can happen once 230 hits, because I think that's where you get your bigger moments. some curiosity as to what is guaranteed to be said. Unchanged, of course. Projection, 87% oil. That's the boring stuff. The stuff that is chalk is boring. Like, what is he not going to say? Recession, he's not going to. Trump, he won't. The president by name, that makes some sense that he might not. Quantitative tightening, probably not. Volatility, he might say. Tariff inflation, he'll avoid. Yeah, like I'm trying to think, what is down here that he might actually say? Crypto, no. Dissent, he probably use different wording. He definitely is not talking about the renovation. He ain't gonna want to do that. His wife. Okay, you know what? I don't like any of those long
Go up.
shots.
I like this one here, Neil.
What do you like?
National debt.
National debt?
Yeah. I can see him saying that. Or stagflation as well.
Oh, I think you'd want to avoid using that word. You want to hear that word out of, if he says that word, we got a problem.
Stagflation?
Well, okay, well, you see what happens if he says the word, if he says stagflation in the context, I guess context does matter. But yeah, if he says it in any way of acknowledging the possibility of it, just watch us drop. Just watch the market drop if he does that. So I guess he's not going to say that. But.
I got a good question for everybody. Let's all pretend that we are Kevin Warsh here, and I'm going to ask you guys all the lovely question. Neil, get your vote in there. Adara, get your vote in there. I should have put a third option, but anyways, this is more fun. Do you want to, 1, lower rates, or 2, increase rates? I seen what you just did. I wasn't going to put the third one in there. I didn't want to put the third one. We're not going to put the third one.
I think the pause here was the right decision.
But that's not why we're not putting that, because everybody, I don't think, that's key, because we got the pause, so we want to go see 1, lower rates, or 2, increase. Let's see what the people think.
Also, we're thinking next decision.
Yeah, next decision. We'll go with next decision. Okay. Let's see what everybody's got. How many votes we got here today? Wow, it is a neck-and-neck race here, ladies and gentlemen. Man, it is really close. A lot of people. Dara, did you vote? Let's see what we got going on. Yeah, she doesn't have. I think she wants to keep rates how they are right now. Lower rates, increase. That's fair enough. The votes are flying in. There it is. We're starting to. It's starting to become. I wouldn't say lopsided, Neil, but you can see lower rates start to take a early lead here. 55.4%, climbing up to 56%, and I haven't even voted yet. So watch out here on this as. Lower rates is taking the lead with 90 votes here today, so make sure you guys get those in, and we'll have a little bit of fun.
Dave in the chat, thank you for the super chat, Dave Zed. Going to prompt Opus 4.8 Max to create a HTML-based video game based on TraderTV Live with all the hosts and chat OGs as characters and have it built by the end of the show today. Okay, that sounds interesting, Dave. You know what? That's why we have the greatest community out there. I can only imagine how hilarious that will end up. And it's all in good fun. We don't take ourselves too seriously. So we love when you guys have fun with that. But let us know if you get that done. I think that would be a heck of a lot of fun for everybody. Just let us know. Look, personally, if you're of the camp that you believe that the war is done and the strait's going to open up and all of that is good, then at a bare minimum, I think that would take the rate hikes off the table, at least in the short term. And if you're not allowed to vote, like you can't vote for nothing, which I still think is the right decision because we don't know if the deal's done.
I mean, we could always add it and modify it.
No, it is what it is. I just feel like if you're believing that the war is done, which I'm kind of want to lean on that side, then I don't think you can be raising rates at the next meeting. It'd be a little bit too early, but it is what it is, and we will see. Let us know in the chat. It was 50-50, which is a little bit surprising there for sure. So.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, hey, now it's 61% saying lower rates, while 38% are saying.
Little Dragon asking my thoughts on Meta. Individual stocks today are probably, look, you're going to move with the market to a general sense on Fed Day. Like almost a lot of things you're just going to stay tracking to the market. But Meta is in the, C600, lose 600. What we talked about yesterday when it was bouncing. Can you hold $600? If yes, like. If no, hate. So like Buck Nasty said in the Chappelle show, hate hate. No, I don't really hate them forever. I just think right now I'm pretty bearish on them. Madera?
Warsh has stepped onto the podium. He is wearing what looks like a navy blue tie, and he just said good day. So he's already switching things up from Jerome, good afternoon, Powell.
He was 67% to say good afternoon. So, he's already giving the long shots their win. I don't know that the time matters, but he is now on the podium. I think this is the moment where it'll get a little reactionary. We want to see what types of questions he's asked, and we'll keep you abreast of any of those answers. I just might take another.
That was crazy. There was literally a volatility spike.
There was a volatility spike to the upside just now. Not a huge one, but enough that I want to trim. I just trimmed a little bit, a little bit of a vol spike. Not huge. There on the cues. I'll zoom it in for you. But he hit the podium and there was a little bit of a bounce.
Oh, there goes Robinhood all the way up to 109. We'll take a little bit more. Yeah, this thing has been, I wish I put on, again, I'm not even going to say it because we could have just put on more shares, but we didn't. And then this day would be completely different than what it is right now. Still slightly red, full disclosure, and we've had a couple of good trades here today. There it goes, man, 109. We're going to tap into 110 momentarily here on Robinhood. Man, oh man, what a nice trade on this one, guys. If the SPY hits 742, I'll eat poutine. Well, I'm telling you, we don't even need that to happen, brother.
Yeah, but poutine is good.
Exactly. He doesn't know, man.
I just do that.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't know. It's everything Americans like gravy, French fries, and cheese. How are you going to tell me that you don't like that? All right, Warsh is speaking here, guys. Listening to what he has going on here, I'm really intrigued with what that's going to be. This guy, he's a little bit different than I thought, man. I never got that close-up look here, but Kevin Warsh definitely dyes his hair, I feel like, at this point, man.
Well, I mean, I want
to. He does.
Of course. I mean, come on, son. You looked. Of course he does. Of course he does. Not around here. I stay gray.
You stay gray, man.
But no, another spike up. We were just, you see that? We were just blasting back down a little bit. It's just crazy volatility. We're just going back and forth inside of a range. Like I'm watching SMCI, but you could look at the Qs too. Like it just dropped a couple of bucks after rallying. So we're all over the place early just when we're getting his opening statement. Right? Like all you're doing is getting the opening statement, and it's like all this crazy volatility up and down. That just tells me that no one knows. I don't say no one, but the market doesn't really know what to expect from Warsh at this moment. I think that's all we're really. That's what I'm getting from it. Usually, you don't have that kind of a crazy reaction to the opening statement there, but that's what we're getting here.
Stating that capital investment within the United States is strong, sounding kind of dovish here, Neil, to start things off. Obviously, mentioning the conflict in the Middle East.
Warsh is kind of hinting at it. I don't want to say regime change of the Fed, but he's hinting at changing things. He said it's anytime there's an organization or new leadership in an organization, it's always good to review what's working and what can be changed. A little bit more emphasis here, potentially what could be changed. So we're going to have to wait and see here. As you can see on the screen as well, he said inflation, as we know, is well ahead of the Fed's 2% goal. So right now he's mostly kind of been focused on what he wants to do at the Fed and how things were at the meeting. I think it's more about path forward versus what happened at the meeting that we just had.
Yeah, I think that's the problem is like the changes or the kind of stuff that he was, I think, presumed to be advocating for before, which had a lot to do with we don't need the dot plot. We need to stay more nimble. We shouldn't be committing ourselves to what we say out in the press and what we lead the market into believing. And this is what I feared the market wouldn't necessarily like, because the market likes certainty. Everyone out there, all the money and analysts, they want to be able to say, okay, this is where things are going, this is what we expect, so we can price things correctly. Good for volatility, but the market right now is not really doing much with any of this.
Yeah, Warsh confirming that he didn't participate in the SEP because he has issues with how it's currently structured. So that indicates maybe like people were thinking he'd get rid of it entirely. The way he put it here, maybe he just wants to restructure it. Either way here, he's just going over the SEP, which again, he did not participate in. He's also saying, quote, policy statement is shorter, simpler, and just the facts. I mentioned he cut out multiple paragraphs and half paragraphs of the statement. I guess that's why.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I heard him state as well, too, here, Neil. He's working on one half of the mandate anyways. He hasn't mentioned anything about maximum employment, just price stability, and the Fed will achieve that. So I find that interesting because we heard on multiple occasions throughout the majority of his meetings that Jerome Powell was stated, hey, our dual mandate, we're going to stick with that, and that's price stability and maximum employment.
Yeah, well, of course. And I think... that's something that you can't waver from. But, I mean, restructuring without getting rid of it, I suppose that might be a little bit better. But for now, if you had to say what is happening since he took the podium, it's just a little bit more lower highs. It's not definitive that we're falling back down, but it is for now. It's been lower highs. The buying has been able to hold the support. If you're looking at the NASDAQ here at about 292, so every time I see that, like I just go over and I trim a little bit more of SPCI. It just doesn't want to fall, and I want to respect it.
Oh.
Like you're still holding a higher low. Like there it goes again. So now it makes me want to get a little bit more.
There goes Robinhood, man.
Robinhood's a different beast, though. Robinhood was the strongest stock in the market.
Yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe.
Yeah, bro. I mean, what other?
Exaggerating a little bit, but you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, but
out of the things that we usually will watch, Robinhood was the beast today. Not some crazy
absolutely, and I mean that's why I decided to go with it. Like, if I'm gonna put myself in the right place at the right time, let's take it all out here now. We're all out of Robinhood, so that's a little good one. There obviously would have liked some more, to be honest with you guys, but it is what it is. We'll take it. Still listening to Warsh. She actually brought up maximum employment at this point, but I think on the trajectory that we're on, guys, we're going to hit $110 here on Robinhood. It's been an absolute fantastic trader here today, and as a shareholder, this is exactly what you want to see. Man, it's still, wow, man, what a big-time move. Let's head over to Bitcoin. Is Bitcoin finding any form of recovery here, Neil? I think that's going to be a big question. Increased rates, not good. And you know what? Over the previous couple of meetings, I thought that when we were going through QE and you've seen the Fed lower rates, that we would see stronger price action within Bitcoin and some of these cryptocurrencies. That was not the case whatsoever. We actually went in the opposite direction. Now, we had that happen, I wouldn't say necessarily before the meeting, but we did right at the flat rate, sorry. It sold off aggressively, so Bitcoin really in limbo at this time, Neil, because it doesn't climb higher with the increase or lowering of rates, and it's selling off with the flattening of it, no decision.
Yeah, Warsh has come out here and he's saying that there are going to be 5 task force to re-examine areas of the Fed. They're going to focus on Fed communications, Fed balance sheet, existing data sources, productivity and jobs, and the Fed's inflation framework. Now, he didn't announce who he's appointing to these task forces yet. But what's really interesting, he said it will be people both inside and outside the economics profession. So that's going to be really interesting. You have to wonder what spheres he's going to pull from. He's already mentioned AI for at least one of these task forces. So either way, the idea of overhaul and re-examining and trying to maybe change or refresh aspects of the Fed, that is 100% prevalent throughout Warsh's prepared remarks. Back to you.
That's interesting, at least. Non-economists. Look, the AI thing, that makes sense, but if it's not economists, who's it going to be? I'm going to tap out of SMCI. It was okay. I'll put it more of the okay trade. But if you're going to put in a higher low and then start breaking up, and never want to fight direction after 230. So I can get back into the trade if we confirm VWAP or something different. But reporters are beginning to ask Warsh some questions. This is where it gets a little bit more spicy. So I want to be flat and ready for that. As we'll see. Like, this is an absolute wild card. Remember, it's a new Fed chair. You get used to, the old. With Powell and his way of maybe not answering things, and we'll see how Warsh is. I expect the Communications Task Force to recommend an SEP change. Well, that's what you want. We know that's what you want, so I am shocked that the Communications Task Force would recommend what you want.
Neil, stunned, flabbergasted, dare I say.
Of course. Well, literally. I mean, you are the Fed chair, so your task force is probably going to come back with the result that you are looking for.
You would hope.
I'm just saying.
You would hope. But
at least he's Captain Obvious.
But how do you think Donald Trump feels appointing Warsh and then him not getting the rate cut that he was looking for?
Well, he appointed someone that historically didn't lean in the direction he wanted.
Yeah.
So there is that. Like, should it be that big of a surprise? I don't know that it would be. If you look at him historically, I don't know that people should have been expecting that. But the market is seemingly liking this. The Qs are back into the upside. Hood's got to be pretty good. Bitcoin, what are we at? 65 change, 65 half or so. That's through VWAP. That could be a little bit spicy. How are silver and gold doing? I almost went to silver first because that's what I trade, but GLD off the lows, maybe not that great. That still looks relatively weak. How's silver reacting to this? Did we get out early? Nah, I don't think so. It didn't go too much further, so I still think that was probably the right decision. SpaceX is at that $200 level. So this has been a big wall here on SpaceX. So I feel like if this wasn't a Fed day, be looking for this level. If we get any kind of a fail break, I'd want to jump short. But if the buyers jump in, you don't want to be fighting this thing on SpaceX. Came in this morning looking short. Flipping into the long was probably the wrong idea because obviously the short was even better. But a key level here for SpaceX looks like it's already rejecting off this 200. What do we have? Another update. Fed Chair Walsh, I see no reason until we have delivered the 2% goal to revisit or revise that goal. I guess revisit that goal.
That's crazy, man.
Until we have delivered the 2% goal to revisit whether you should change it. So he wants inflation down.
I will, but I don't know. I don't know how you feel about that. I think you should because you almost got
like getting in at that moment that he just posted that.
I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence. Like, you're going to wait till you hit that goal maybe to see what the landscape around you looks like. But I think they should revise it now and go over and talk and say, hey, is 2% still realistic? Because how long has 2% inflation been the actual goal for the Fed? I think that's a question that needs to be exactly. So it's been a long time, and is the nature or is the landscape still the same that it was pre-COVID and all those other times? I think the world has changed, and I think that's something that you would want to revisit a little bit sooner because it's been how many years now, and you still haven't had the ability to reach that goal.
This is why I hate SpaceX. Like, SpaceX is the only stock that I will put a stop in at an even dollar and then get stopped out at a price underneath the even dollar.
Yeah.
I threw a stop above $200 and I got out underneath $200. Well, you know what? When that happens, we've seen it before.
It's
like a get back in and then move the stop a little bit above. Like, that's all you can really do. But yeah, we are starting. Like the NASDAQ, look. Just because I like SpaceX at 200 for a fade, I don't want to get past the fact that the NASDAQ is absolutely blasting while he's up here. And you've gotten, if that's what you were looking for, you wanted to see if this guy was going to be Big Papa Pump. I guess we can't really say that because Powell was Big Papa Pump, so we got to give him a different nickname in there. Well, so far, so good.
Just tune in, Adara, because just this time,
Yeah, as we expected here, guys, Warsh is being really cagey about providing any forward guidance. Warsh, new Fed Chair Kevin Warsh actually said, quote, I can't give you any guidance on what we're going to do next. So anyone of these reporters who was trying to ask him questions about where are you seeing things going forward, what are you looking for, he's really not answering any of those. So it's going to be a very interesting conference with that in mind. Again, in addition to not participating in the SEP or the Summary of Economic Projections, it doesn't sound like Warsh will be giving any indicia verbally of where he's leading either.
I like what you had to say here, Peter, in the Corosos. You're right. If you can't meet expectations, just change them. Who cares? That's not exactly what I'm saying, because that means you're kind of giving up. But I think what needs to be looked at is the duration that it takes to hit that goal and at what cost, right? If you're being extremely stubborn about this 2% goal, it's been how many years now, and they still haven't had the ability to achieve it?
Well, I think that cuts both ways. There's going to be, you can't know that conditions are going to change. If you think a certain level is optimal for the economy, then that's what you believe.
Which is fair, but the economy is ever so changing. Like, you have increase in GDP, right? Like, you're going to be printing numbers never seen before. You have these mega cap names spending an insane amount of money, and what does that mean? Eventually, you're going to get the trickle down effect, and it's going to fall into other people's hands too, right? So I don't know. I think it needs to be reassessed.
I would agree that you have to be open to reassessing, but I don't think it's automatic that you have to that you would have.
No, absolutely, absolutely. At what cost? But what are you willing to give up to achieve that goal? And is it the same thing?
It's definitely a fair question.
Yeah.
Put some more thought in it. But the real story for now is the NASDAQ.
Yeah,
I know, I'm looking at something which is not blasting. There's NVIDIA blasting.
Is it good, man?
Well, I mean, blasting is relative to what it was doing before. Apple, not so much. I think it's just more, if you're looking at what's going, it seems like it's more on the lines of our growth tech stocks. And then emphasize the point, look at the Russell. The Russell is absolutely almost given the entire, or not given the entire move up, almost pulled back and V-shaped the entirety of the move. As I said, SpaceX for me was just, it has less to do with, whoops, what do I have a second bid there? That should be at VWAP. It has less to do with what I think about Warsh and more to do with the price level than anything else. It's just the fact that it's at 200. So I'm just looking for a scalp trade off the 200 level because it's a big one. Lozo says Caterpillar is at 1,000. I'll get to 2,000 eventually. Oh, the debate about people. Why were there people in the chat in the midday show saying that Caterpillar wasn't an AI play?
No, it was somebody on CNBC said that.
Someone on CNBC. What? Someone said that Caterpillar was not an AI play?
Yeah.
Okay. On a professional network?
What's up, Adara?
Yeah, Warsh is talking about press conferences. He was asked, do you want to do these going forward? He said, well, this one has another 15, 20 minutes left in it, so I don't want to get ahead of myself. Implying this will only be about a 35-minute conference, much shorter than what we're used to seeing with Powell. But yeah, I mean, kind of again, an answer that doesn't really imply that he really enjoys these conferences or that this is something we'll be continuing to do lately. He did say, though, that it's important to give American households information. So kind of, to use a pun, wishy-washy, to borrow a pun from the chat here, when it comes to what we're going to do going forward here with these conferences. And I also want to let you guys know here, with regards to the conferences, Powell was, to my knowledge, from what I've heard, the first Fed to do them every single meeting. They didn't used to do them every meeting. So Powell already was more conferences than we had with other Fed chairs. So we're going to have to wait and see if we go back going forward. He said he doesn't want to prejudge the outcomes of the communications review, so we might get more updates on the presence of conferences or lack thereof after that task force.
The task force. Well, if you bet on that word, I guess you would be right. Big Sky, Sharif. Sharif's taken off. I know he's probably watching football right now. Thanks for OBAI. 9 trades and 18K profit on OBAI. Are you kidding me? I was gonna hit this one on OBAI, and I'm only gonna presume that if you had the first one, that ended up being all you needed if you got the $1 break. But you could have shorted the top. There's a lot that you could have been doing on that bad boy. So congratulations on that. Small cappers, this one's not moving anymore. If there is something else moving, like Rackspace, I know. Wow.
Dude.
Wow. Look at Rackspace, 35%. Yeah, remember that breakout? Oh yeah, that breakout broke out.
Oh.
I guess that's what breakout is. Go Rackspace. That was another one from yesterday, looking fantastic with the AMD partnership. The reason why they're going. So we had good shout out there, some small cappers running, but the market, a little bit of a pullback, but it's still trying to hold higher. Your NASDAQ is still, we're pressing into that morning high and then not really doing anything with it. So pull back into VWAP here as Warsh says, some changes to come, maybe worthy of press conferences.
Oh, no.
Maybe worthy of press conferences? Okay.
Wow, that's interesting.
Maybe.
Okay, let's not fall into one of those individuals who are obsessed with the press. That's for sure. Neil, you and Hood on the personal account, brother. I guess you weren't on the. No, sorry. What did you say?
No,
you and who? Oh, yeah, exactly.
Who likes press conferences?
Yeah, we don't know anybody along those lines that like press conferences. Jesse asking me if I'm in Hood in the personal account. Brother, I bought this name like a long time ago, or I shouldn't say that, in April of like last year. We're doing the Hood dance. No, but in all seriousness, Neil, I find this very, very weird, and I don't know if this is incorrect information, but this is making very little to no sense to me. For all my fellow options nerds out there, is this correct, and are you seeing the exact same data? Because if this is the case, we are now north of $110. So where we had a substantial amount of open interest, the second most amount from that $100 marker, we're sitting on 23 contracts in our way, potentially, from 111 all the way up to 113. You got 23, 12, and 113. There has to be some form of an error there, because that is I've never seen that type of open interest on an underlying asset like this. Neil, this makes no sense, considering, like, if you go down the chain, 26,000, 3,000, 3,000, 3,000, 10,000, 700, 700, 700, 13,000, 23, 11, 113. Like, I can buy this right now. I could literally,
so
I
weird.
could literally absorb this here, and
But what would you chalk that up to? Like if you had to speculate.
So I would say we're going north of $113 at this point. There's nothing standing in front of it. Like there's that room to run because there's no defense. And what I'm getting at
If
here
I
is
punch long and you're wrong, I'm gonna slap you in the face.
that's great. Hey, man, I know you're obviously joking, but that's what I'm getting at. And I'm saying by tomorrow, look at the trajectory that we're on right now, Neil. I mean, are you going to bet against that for tomorrow to lead north of those levels and head possibly into 115 bucks? I'm going to be trading this name throughout the rest of the day, and let's see what the imbalances brings us as well too, because you can get a big time buy imbalance and think next thing you know, this thing is at $114. At the end of the day, you're up 14%. Who's to say we can't continue to climb?
It's still going since you said
Like
that.
it's still going, dude. I'm telling you, there's no defense there. There's nothing defending it through those three levels. So I mean,
I'm telling you, Robinhood is going through even dollars like any player with a pulse.
yeah,
through
man.
James Harden's defense.
120 hood. A lot of people
Straight
saying
up.
careful. He's
Or like the Dallas Cowboys line.
yeah, oh yeah. Someone said, "Be careful. You're a Navy SEAL."
Huh? What?
Remember this Neil Team 6?
Oh, I'm not. I will. No, that. Look, first of all, I appreciate. We love the viewers and all that.
Yeah.
Obviously not. Like I would never pretend to be something I'm not. It was just a fun thing that someone put.
Yeah, but obviously, you say, yeah, obviously we were joking, but yeah, at the end of the day, Neil Team 6. I'm trying
It ain't gonna be me doing those stolen valor nonsense.
Yeah, it's
I'd be the
great.
last person on the planet to do that. Because I actually think that stuff is. Anyways,
Oh, that's
it should
great.
grind others' gears more than it grinds mine. So, but it's all in good fun.
No, it's not serious. Yeah, that's
No,
the
I'm
thing.
just-
Yeah,
I just wanna make sure people
No, yeah,
know, right?
exactly.
I'm not
People know, man. Trust me, no, he's not fronting on any of that stuff. So, all right, let's go over to Adara.
Yeah, this is a really interesting comment, guys, from Warsh. He was asked, how is the market supposed to know how to react to data if you're not giving forward guidance? And he actually said that he believes markets perform best when they're reacting to data themselves and believes that financial markets perform less efficiently when they're worried about how the Fed will react to data. So this implies that he's really trying to keep a lock on any of the Fed's opinions on things getting out. And this also, of course, will make you wonder how Fed speeches will work going forward. I guess the communications review from that task force, 1 of 5, will probably give us more info. I'll let you guys know if we get more info. But yeah, either way here, interesting look from Fed's Warsh, basically implying that comments coming from Feds can actually muddy the waters when it comes to market reactions and knowing how the market is responding to certain information.
Yeah, not me.
Yeah.
Thanks.
No.
Let me hit the button.
Yeah,
Hit
trust
that
me.
button every single time.
Thank you very much, Dara.
Thank you very much.
Market's trying to get it down, but you know what? SpaceX is holding VWAP pretty well. Like it's managed to pull back into like the 198 half range, so like get that like the scalp into VWAP, but no follow through. Maybe we're just a little too strong here. By the way, Joe.
Yeah.
Robinhood, I guess maybe it is slowing down. It was on this collision course with every single even
Just
dollar
gonna
that we were
watch
just
tomorrow.
joking about.
Yeah.
But all of a sudden, like this, the
There's something
top got
fishy.
made. It's like it ran into the brick wall that is the Bills defense, and now is pulling back.
Wow.
Well, I just have to give my reference.
There's something fishy going on there. I'm going to call it now because those numbers don't make any sense.
So, but you're basically what you're saying is you read that as once 111 goes, it's kind of like
Once
it's like free reign to 113.
once 110 is held, then it's
Free reign to
definitely-
113.
It's one free range to it's free game all the way up into 115
Okay, but have you ever seen that before?
all the time.
And okay, interesting.
That's why I play it, and that's why I bring it to everybody. So I'll use this example, Neil. A couple of quarters ago, with the exception of last quarter, so the previous like 4 quarters, and throughout the duration of just me learning options, as I was observing open interest. Anyways, I'm going to use the example of NVDA, the 200 call strike price over multiple quarters because it was consolidating within that area for quite some time. Now, at that strike price, there's a substantial amount of open interest, and the stock and the underlying asset actually had the inability to breach that level. Why? Because there's too many. What I find, I don't know the definitive answer, but what I can observe, what I've observed and what I've learned over time is that there's too much supply, classified as a supply zone, that there wasn't enough demand to absorb the supply. Now, what I'm getting at here with 23 contracts, like that's not very much, right?
No.
There's not supply, right? So someone can absolutely absorb that without any question. But I think it's a little bit fishy because look at everything compared to here. It's in the thousands, and you even get tens of thousands of contracts. Why is there only 23, 12, and 113?
You should make sure you're showing that for anyone that didn't see this already.
Yeah, if you haven't seen this, like look at, with the exception of these three strike prices, is all thousands, tens of thousands of contracts. Why is it through 11, 112, and 113, 23 contracts? Like, we literally just had somebody in the chat say they had 60 contracts of Robinhood and made 60K. Like, it makes zero sense. So there's something fishy going on through this this grouping of strike prices, 111, 112, and 113. And if this is genuine and what it's being displayed, then that can be absorbed because it's not very much supply whatsoever. And that's what I'm getting at when we use and we go through our open interest in the morning is, hey, where do we see max pain? Where is the open interest laying? Where can we find potential floors and ceilings, and where we can play potential ranges within the actual underlying assets? So something's fishy going on, and if it's genuine, then we're north of 113 by tomorrow.
That's what I like to hear. Well, the market's not going to help that thesis right now because we're still, we made that top. It ends up being like pure rubber band. Get down. Right up to the highs, right up to the morning highs on the Q, right up to resistance and almost resistance on the SPY. IWM, I think we already showed you guys the Russell. Lower highs as well, and we're going right back into the downside. Adara?
Yeah, sorry to cut you off there, Neil. Kevin Warsh saying that he's not going to offer any commentary in the market reaction today, saying that they've given the market a new chapter with the Fed. So interesting look there. Again, Kevin Warsh saying that they're not going to talk about how the market's reacting. Yeah, I guess more comments that are hinting at some kind of plans for wider change at the Fed.
Right, like this is, we had an idea that this might be the theme of today. Like it would end up leaning more toward what kind of a Fed are we going to get communication-wise, as opposed to, hey, well, where do we think we're going to go, or like that type of question. Yeah, it'd be interesting if nothing about Powell. I guess they'll try to avoid the whole Powell thing, but
No.
kind of thought there was an outside chance that might come up, right? Like how are things with Jerome still sticking around?
So you're telling me there's a chance?
It's just a weird one. It's like when the team drafts a quarterback in the first round, and the veteran's like, huh? What?
Yeah.
Just sticking around in the
Who did that?
meeting rooms? No, it happens. It happens from time to time.
But someone did it recently, though.
Yeah, the Falcons did it.
Yeah.
It worked out terribly for them. But I feel like it's at the end of the day, like this market still is the market has no idea what to do. We go up, we head right back down. It's good if you just reverse. I think that was a reason to have looked at some of those highs. We are right back in to some of these lows. So as the NASDAQ gets down to the bottom here, try to remember we just broke the 30,000. There's a crazy wick, but there's this like 29.8 that was the higher low. If I see buyers step in at that price, I'm going to consider, well, especially if I haven't gotten the target, which is down in front of 94, 95, then I might just take the scalp trade here. When the market's at that low, you take what you can get. And if it's 250, it's 250. If it's 3, it's 3. Whatever it happens to be. I'm just kind of expecting we might see a little bit more of this indeterminate rubber band from the new Fed chair. Take it while you can get it. I don't know if you're so now we are bouncing.
Listen, I'm no soccer guy. Neil, sorry to interrupt you, but I was looking at the lines here for football, whatever you guys would like to call it. Portugal was plus like 4,000. And these guys are about to tie 1-1. Like, what? I don't know, man. Bruh. Yeah, bro is right.
Wow.
Weird stuff, man. Garbage.
That's a fail.
Man.
But I don't know. But if you're an England fan, then you're probably not rooting for Portugal anyway, so
Man, you tie, man. I don't know.
No, but that's pretty nasty. All right, I just got out. And Scott, I don't have that key. So what I can do for you, because I should have stuck with SMCI. Went over to SpaceX, and look, SpaceX might have moved from 200 down to 197, but it's a $200 stock. So that moving $3 is not as good as SMCI moving like 70 cents. SMCI was way better. So whether it worked or not, I don't have the money, but I can give the power up for you. I can do that one. Boom. I mean, that key, like I don't have any gray hair in that one, which is probably why I like to hit that key so often. So shout out to you for sure, Scott. That's the thing, like you make a determination. Obviously, when I'm building that SMCI and then getting a bunch out for small win, and then we get out flat, didn't make much, didn't make much on the trade, but was up on it. If you stick with that, that's just a bigger move. 80 cents on this thing is a huge move. Fed Chair Walsh asked if he had conversations with Trump. I don't have anything for you. It's kind of ambiguous. Yes, no. Well, he didn't say no. He just didn't want to tell you.
Yeah.
Don't be rude.
Oh.
Don't be rude. I like that. No, but in all seriousness, sometimes they get asked questions like, what do you think he's going to say? Oh, yeah, I spoke to the president, and he let me know about all of his concerns about where rates are headed, and then I told him my thoughts on, like, what? Of course he's not going to tell you anything, but I guess they have to have their moment and ask a stupid question anyways. Yeah. I think that's just, it is what it is. But there's certain questions they get asked that are not true. We did get this one from Big Sky already. We have John Tarzan, made $60K on the hooded one. Still have 62 calls for tomorrow. Well, if we're paying attention to what Joe was throwing down, there's some room to 113 or
all the way up to 1.
I guess past that
it.
13 into 14.15.
Yeah, man.
So there's still some room to go. This is definitively held that 200 period. Really happy with this. Remember, every time, one of the things that I've always said on the show, if something is in a downtrend, I'm more interested in finding the consolidation and the rounded bottom and then the reclaim of the 50-period moving average, and like that's the turn. Instead of trying to be so good that you have this, I'd rather just be in here. Right? Like it gives you somewhere to get out. It gives you some conviction that you're making higher lows. It doesn't mean that that's right, but it's way better than the alternative. And I hate to do this, but I'm going to have to. Because when I'm trying to make the example, all I can do is think of the first stock that I can that only goes down, like a Lululemon. I'm not trying to pick on Lululemon, but it's just the point. Like if you keep trying to pick the bottom, and something continues to go in the downtrend, you're wrecked. Like I'd rather take a shot here, get it to the 200 period, and be able to know that you're wrong and not lose on the trade, then just try to pick the low. Pick the low, pick the low. It's a really, really tough way to go. Nick W. with the super chat here. Hey guys, appreciate the commentary. In one of my best trades recently on a long and mRNA. Options, I should have finished this before I said congratulations. That was a good trade. Options swing at 64 target, looking at SoFi 23 target.
All right.
Well, if you think Robinhood's going up, a lot of the same logic helps you with SoFi, no? Like they're not the same, but they are similar enough. PDT is going to help them as well. The financial is getting a little bit of a turn back. It's a similar hold the low, regain the 50. It did fail $20 each time it's done this. So, you got that out there. But yeah, I don't see why not. And I said this, Sean bought, he'll be back tomorrow. Sean bought SoFi in this consolidation. I bought Robinhood. It was basically would make the same amount of sense. I mean, you said 23. It's right around the 200-period moving average. It's close on. That's very similar to what the Robinhood move is. So it almost doesn't matter.
Oh, SoFi's only up 3, though. 3.5.
I know. It's lagging the move. I think Robinhood's just seen as the leader. And thank you for the kind words, Philip. Neil talks like trading is so easy. I don't talk like trading. I hope not.
Who said that?
Okay, so here's the thing. I've been trading since 2003. Know what it is that I want to say. I know what it is that I'm seeing, so it can sound like I'm making it look easy. What it is to me, it makes the setup and what I would do with it easy. Whether it wins or not is a difficult. That's not easy at all. Like look at SMCI a couple of minutes ago, right? Was that easy? No, because I was in that short, imprecise on the entries, right to get out of it, but then didn't re-enter the trade and went into SpaceX instead. Thought the 200 trade was going to be good, and then that gives a bit of a muted move. Yeah, like I knew what I was going to do at 200. I knew what I wanted to see, and I got it. But it still was the wrong decision not to trade SMCI. That's not really easy about that. It's just that it's being definitive when you see something in front of you is different from that actually being easy to accomplish. Those are two very different things. Like I've been doing this way too long not to be able to speak confidently about it. But I wish the execution part was super easy. The setup,
you know what I have to say about that, Neil?
Reading the charts, like that stuff,
Yeah.
tends to come naturally after a while.
You know what I have to say about that, Neil, is trading doesn't get any easier. You just mold and adapt to the situations that you're in.
True.
So if someone says that, maybe because like the guy's been doing it for 23 years. It's like think about it, when you're just continuously lifting weight. It's like, okay, when you first start out, incline bench press on like 30 pounds may seem heavy, but you're 5, 6 years, 20 years into the game, that's nothing to
Maybe
you,
not
right?
30 pounds.
Yeah, but you see what I'm
start
getting,
from something,
right?
right?
You see what I'm getting at is that as you progress,
30 pounds.
the weight doesn't get any lighter. You just get a little bit better.
30 pounds.
Yeah, man, 30 pounds. Hey, man, I remember us hitting 30 pounds like way back in the
You don't have to
day,
talk to
man.
me about starting from fresh, because I know you just had your ACL. I tore my Achilles 2 years ago. If it's not a great experience coming back from a major injury, but what I will tell you is this, and it absolutely applies to trading, investing, and life in general. When you have that kind of, because you have to build back from close to nothing, when you set yourself toward that task and then you start to see results, it is one of the greatest feelings that you can ever get.
Yeah, man.
Because it's something that you're just not accustomed to having to do it. You get that and you just feel like you can do anything. Like I remember like the first time I kind of hopped on, all I did is hop at physio. And man, we were high-fiving. Like it was, trust. It's a great feeling. You don't want to have to do it, but it is a great feeling. Thank you for the super chat. I don't know the name, so obviously I can't. I don't even know what language that is. Hey, I would love to know your thoughts on Lunar. Ooh. Okay, so intuitive machines. I think we've all understood what's been happening here, which is after, there's like before SpaceX and the run up into it, and then the aftermath. We have seen what is going on with the aftermath, and I did this as a lesson of the day yesterday. Aftermath of SpaceX, sell, still looking weak. This is like a post earnings. Like imagine that SpaceX, sell the news, was like an earnings move. Show like when's it gonna hold a low and show that it can hold that bottom and then bounce. That's the way I look at things after earnings. So it's like trend down, proven until it's not. You saw the run up in Euphoria and a whole host of names, and they're now just getting the sell off because that money had to go into, I shouldn't say had to, but did go into SpaceX. And remember, you know, like maybe it catches a bit at some point. I personally like Rocket Labs a little bit better, but that's just me. We are still monitoring if we get anything interesting out of the Fed chair at this moment. But as we were saying earlier, it's as if the market can't decide what to do. We've just retraced back in the range. Whether or not we can get back to the highs, I think, is the next step. But we're into power hour. There's less than an hour to go. Typically speaking, I want to say they're on the podium 3:15 to 3:30 is generally about as late as it goes. So I think at that point, if he wraps up, sometimes you get a reversion at that point. Is that about right, Adara?
Well, yeah, he said he was going to end in 15 to 20 minutes, and that was about 23 minutes ago. So he's actually a little bit over the time he thought he was going to end. But Neil, you are correct. Generally, they do 3:15 to 3:30 in a Powell conference. But we're in Warsh's world now. So who knows? It's the man that said there's a task force for that at one point to answer one of the questions. And I was joking in the chat, maybe Task Warsh is the nickname here. I don't know. But very obsessed with task forces. We'll have to wait and see how long this whole thing goes.
We got a winner. Task Warsh, of course.
Task Warsh.
Task Warsh.
Okay.
It's that until someone comes up with a better one.
Task Warsh.
Okay, so that's you guys out in the chat. If you want us to call him something other than Task Warsh, then you need to let me know, because that's what I'm going to go with from now on. Mr. Westermeyer, where do I think SpaceX closes? Well, I thought that dump yesterday was going to have it close under 200, and that was dead wrong. Like it definitively broke less than 200. But then look at the buyers come in en masse. So I feel like I want to say under 200 again, so I believe under 200. But as right as that was directionally, that was so incredibly wrong by the end of the day. Warsh of Wall Street's not bad.
Yeah, I like
Warsh
that
of Wall
one.
Street?
Yeah, I like that one.
Okay, so TX Jet fan, obviously we're not going to agree on everything, right? Because as much as you're a valued member of our community, and that is a fantastic name, clearly you get at least one thing incredibly wrong as a Jets fan, which is cool. That's fine. You're probably from there, which is okay. Nobody's perfect. I like that one. Warsh of Wall Street.
Warsh of Wall Street. We like
I feel
that
like
one.
we could. If we get enough good ones, I'm going to throw a poll up there. We get a couple more, and I'm going to make a poll, and then we can come up with it. And then from that point on, that's what we're going to call this guy.
Yeah.
Because we already have, like, this poll is 62% for lower rates. I feel like I can end that, and then we can move on. Jump in it, Dara.
Yeah, so Iran's official news agency, now to completely switch things away from the Warsh of Wall Street for a minute here, they're saying with regards to the MOU or Memorandum of Understanding text that the two parties, so I'm guessing US and Iran, have committed to reach a final deal in 60 days of negotiation. That can be prolonged. So we were initially hearing 60 days was it, that's all. President Trump said earlier that they'll start bombing, quote unquote, if they don't get a result in 60 days. But Iran's official news agency is saying that the 60-day negotiation period can be prolonged. So just be aware, guys, that's happening here. Warsh is still talking for now. Now President Trump saying that Iran deal will be signed over the next 48 hours and that, quote, all right, that they held rates, whatever. That's what I'm seeing apparently that he said. I guess he's on Air Force One here. So yeah, saying, quote, whatever, that rates were held.
Whatever.
That's crazy. That is insane, 98. Man, that is wild, man. All right.
I have only 3. We've got Warsh of Wall Street.
Yeah.
Task Warsh.
Yeah.
Wishy Warshy.
Okay.
What else we got going on here? Brain Warsher, says a guy from work. Do you like that? Brain Warsher?
I'm stuck between one. No, I don't like that one.
You don't want me
I'm
to put
stuck
Brain
between 1 and 2.
Well, I want to give another option. I'm not going to put it up yet. I want a couple more options.
Whoa, really? What else are you gonna get?
I don't know. Let the viewers come up with something. It's fine. I think Spin Warsh, whatever Warsh.
Star Wars.
Star Wars, but that, like, obviously I like that. But
Yeah,
it's not really market
Star
related.
Wars, man.
No, the market's not liking this at all.
Oh, that's mad disrespectful, John. He said he got hair though. That's crazy. Super chat question from this morning.
Damn.
D. Westermeyer, I didn't see your super chat question from this morning. Otherwise, we would. We don't want to miss that. Trump, if other countries have ballistic missiles, it's a little bit unfair for Iran to have none. I think that's understandable, but that's not the same as a nuclear.
I know. I just wouldn't have expected.
These guys still have to. Well, I mean, you can't strip them of everything, even though you would like to.
Can't you though? Yeah, I mean, I suppose.
Yeah,
You know,
Warsh machine.
you know what? It feels like the market is not really liking the latest out of Iran here, because for the most part, we were sort of like we were holding those lows as the conference is close to wrapping up. I think he's still answering questions, but we're not completely done yet. All right, now we're catching a little bit of a bit. Like that last push down felt like it had a little bit more to do with what we just heard from the president there, more than anything else. So it's only 313. There might be one last pop to try to fade. I'll probably look to that 200 again, or if I can get back into SMCI.
Warsh is done.
He's done? Okay, so press conference over. He's now finished. And there you get your bump in the market as we head back in to the upside. Overall, I don't want to call it quiet. There was a break of the low, right? Like we broke the low of the day, we broke the prior day low, we tested the high. Overall, you have to call it somewhat of an inside if we're able to hold on to this range. Like we're right back to flat on the NASDAQ, which is nuts. How's Robinhood doing? 'Cause I gotta suspect. Is that at your levels again?
No, Christopher Jones, see what he said. Yeah, but I mean, it's coming back, man. I wanted to get in at 108.50.
I can't put that on the
No, obviously you can't put that on there. Oh, 108.50, man. I was waiting for this. It was a really good one, 108.50. Man, and off to the races it goes. It may not hit today, but I guarantee. Listen, I would put a bet, and I will, if I have to put my money where my mouth is. Let's see how much these contracts are worth, Neil. If I have to buy one, just to see if we get any form of appreciation in it right now. No, yeah, I'm not spending that for something that potentially won't work out in tomorrow. Even though they are out of the money, the one that I would look to buy is the 113 one, which is $90 right now. But I mean, that's a donation that I just don't feel like giving away. I'm not saying that we're not going to close above that. I'm just not buying something that's going to lose the majority of its value to decay. It just doesn't make any sense. I could go further out, but I already own so many shares that I don't really need to play this via options because we're in at a really, really good price. So no need for me to get involved. 108.50, that's a nice move here, guys. I wouldn't be surprised if we really start to curl over sorry, not curl over, continue on this path. I don't think we're going to get that curl over right now, so an additional pullback, and then we might rock and roll on this bad boy. I'm looking forward to the imbalances. We still got another 35 minutes or so until we hit them, and I'm prepared. I got my keys all set up, and I want to see something heavy step in because I think there's going to be the opportunity to do so. We had a lot of volatility spikes. The market, like, listen, it just went from trading in one range to another, right? Like, you have this all day up until 2 o'clock. Then you sell off, you have a couple of spikes here and there, and then just end up trading within the exact same range. So, yeah, I mean, it hasn't been a trend day other than eastbound, I guess, is a trend. So, yeah, I don't like the NASDAQ on today's session. USMC won't be sticking around. It gets terminated. Yeah, well,
that's not good for us.
Well, hopefully that drives our country to build its own refineries.
Yeah, I mean, like that's...
It makes zero logical sense.
Is that going to be a huge market mover? Maybe not. No. Like, what does that mean for maybe like a Magna or something would be moving on that, but that's barely even. Nah, it's just moving with the market. The Warsh, okay, that's number 5.
That's kind of... Zamito YOLO says Canada sucks.
That's cold. It's got to be like that. Well, okay. All right, it's going to be like that. Thank you from TikTok. Now we got 5. All right, everybody. All you have to do is, this is not whether you like Warsh or not. What are we going to call him from now on? So type 1 in the chat. First of all, if you're not in the chat, get in the chat. Jump in there while the water is warm or cold, if you like it cold, whatever works for you. Jump in the chat by hitting the subscribe button, like me is doing, showing you to do right in front. And number 1, Warsh of Wall Street. Number 2, Task Warsh. Number 3, Wishy Warshy. Number 4, Warshing Machine. And number 5, the Warshinator. I am still in love with, I don't know, I feel like Wishy Warshy is too funny. I was going Warsh of Wall Street.
I feel like we should have put in
Wishy Warshy for sure.
I think we should have put in Star Wars.
Star Wars? But it doesn't, look, man, I love Star Wars, but it's
no, it's not a name. I voted 2. What did you vote, Neil? That's crazy.
It
doesn't even really make that much sense.
Kevin to a Warshawk. Look,
like,
man, it doesn't have to make sense. It just has to be fun.
Well, then, if that's the case, then
it just has to be fun.
Star Wars has to go up there.
I like Star Wars.
I voted for my own task force. I'm going to be honest, because I think if you're looking for a nickname that's accurate to what Warsh gave us at this meeting, I think that's it. He said we have a task force for that. He kept talking about task forces.
How many times he
I think until the task force is
I voted task force.
At the end of this year, I'm going with task force.
I voted task force too. I think that was task force 2.
If he doubles down on that, again, the market doesn't seem to be reacting terribly. We've seen worse, I guess. I know we're not really bidding up or anything. We've seen worse than this, but we did end up in the red. It wasn't, remember we said it was an inside day, and we're now pressing underneath yet. We closed the lows yesterday, so anything under the lows is going to be us in the red. And yeah, look, I get it in the chat. There were a few names that I wasn't gonna put in there. All right.
This is the best one.
Some of them were absolutely hilarious, everybody. But I wasn't gonna put them on.
This is the best one. This is the best one.
You knew some of them weren't gonna get put in the poll when you typed.
You got deleted Worcester sauce.
Oh, that's not. That's a good one.
That's a good one, man. Yeah, that's a good one, man. Yeah, that stuff makes me laugh. All right, let's get right back into the markets, man. Let's keep an eye out on some of these strike prices through 111 all the way up to 114. We love the chat. You're now at 101. We're gonna wait for May the Warsh be with you. That's good as well. Man, this guy's gonna have a hard time, that's for sure. We're gonna re-engage here on Robinhood as there's a key support level. We're gonna wait for one more liquidity grab. We're locked and loaded here for the imbalances and prepared to take something because I think there's going to be a hefty one, whether it's on some of the mag names, NVDA coming out with an imbalance, which I think it will. What do we got? It's too early. Yeah, I was going to say, we could pull it up there.
Pinterest is already 2/8 to the sell side.
Is it?
Yeah, Pinterest is 2.8 million sell side. EWZ is 1. Early look 1. 3 million to the buy
TFC
side. Owl
is
sell
up
1.2 million. Lumen 1.1. Disney's 1 million sell. But yeah, there's already a little bit of open interest
Why
here.
is
And
this-
remember, EWZ is like the Brazil ETF. Not really sure why that would be a buy at all. Random oddities. Neil, thoughts on the Dixie compared to similar move June 5th, crash day? That's a good point. Didn't even pull up the DXY. Probably should. I have no idea what trading view just wanted me to do, but I'm going to ignore them because I got stuff to do. I don't think we had that big of a move. If we even move that much, let's put a 5. A 5 will do good. It's pretty solid. I'd say pretty solid. I don't remember. Was it this similar? Didn't we move more? Didn't we move much more on the crash day?
And
I
it's
should do the
freezing
whole
in here.
reset chart view. Didn't we move more on the crash day? It's a good sized move, right? Like I think that's probably what I mean. Gold and silver getting absolutely smoked because the dollar goes up, but the market's not taking it as badly this move up in the dollar as you'd expect. But I did feel like we moved more than June 5th. But there is a similar feeling to it, which is part of the reason why I'm a little bit surprised. Like we haven't really broken down too much worse on the Qs. Like it's bad, but it could be a heck of a lot worse than this. Warshmellow because he's soft. There's a lot of them out there. It's hilarious that after we do the poll, suddenly we get a lot of really funny ones. Go figure. Like, where were all of these 10 minutes ago when we were actually making the poll, everybody? Nowhere. That's where they were. But y'all got jokes. We have a great, fun community. But, yeah, it's a washout right now. I see you. Absolute washout. Volatility's headed higher. So we're not getting saved. You ain't Big Papa pumping it today. That's for darn sure. Of course, I got out of my shorts. And what's weird about it is typically, too, like even if you were in winning trades, oftentimes it's the whole once off the podium, that's the time to get out.
Yeah.
Because you get like bounces or reversals. No, we're getting continuation after he leaves the podium. Not good. So there's UVXY popping to the upside. I think that makes sense. Dollar higher, volatility higher, literally everything else lower, except maybe Robinhood.
Yeah, no, it sold into 107, but I got in right there at that 107 hold. Yeah, bang, just like that. Yes, let's go. Yeah, I seen it. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was waiting for there, Neil. We got a bottoming tail. Now, whether it works or not, I think is going to be a completely different story, but 107.29. Let's see if we can hold this up into 108. I'm going to be optimistic on it. I didn't get a complete, oh yeah, I did. Okay, I didn't think I got a complete fill on it, but yeah, nice little move so far here, guys, in Robinhood. I do have my eyes on TFC. I don't know if you've seen this imbalance here to the buy side, 2.9 million, Neil, and it only has 5.7 million shares traded on the day. So
which one's that?
TFC.
Oh, I didn't.
It's Truist Financial or something along the Trust Financial or something along those lines. I'm not too familiar. But yeah, let's see if we can get this rebound here in Robinhood. 108 is going to be my primary target. Cracks 107, then we just get out of dodge on this bad boy. Okay, there it is. Some strong upticks. This thing is really. It fluctuates quite a bit, so you have to keep your eyes on the time and sales just to see the actual genuine prints. We're printing 24s. Now, I want to see the bid in the ask continuously get lifted out. Now, we're printing 30s, 35, 36s. Okay, nice look there. Let's see if we can print 50s. If this bid continues to lap, we're at 44s at that marker, so 41. Let's see if we can lift one more time. I like to see that the bid hit the ask there. Oh, no. See, yeah, it's kind of chopping around right now, so no need for my play-by-play commentary on this bad boy. The longer it takes, the less probability that it is going to work. But again, I just want to put my names in places of strength, and that has been Robinhood throughout the whole intraday session. So let's see if this one works out. This is actually some of the larger size. This is 4 times the amount that I had actually on the previous position. 3 times the amount, I should say. No, 4 times. Yeah, sorry, sick match, Joe. I don't even know how many. 4 times the amount that I had on the first position.
Get it. Yeah. And people still come with the name, but I was just asked. Someone just said, where do you think SMCI is going to go? Clearly lower than I anticipated. That's the first answer. But the other thing is, get ready for me to tell you that I'm looking short on this tomorrow. Because that is I'm not on the page. A flat bottom break. We still don't have like a breakout one. So I feel like we hit a key for that when things are breaking down, but we should have one for when things want to go higher. But it is what it is. You're losing support in SMCI. That just means until proven otherwise, I'm feeling continuation to 26 tomorrow. And remember, tomorrow's the end of the week because Friday's a holiday, so it is the end of the week, options expiration, all that kind of stuff. So it's a little bit different. You're now, again, like you're through the low here at 28.4. So if it's a where is it going today, 28 even, like it'd just be guessing at this point. Where it seems like it's headed on this move is down toward that 26, and I think that makes a little bit of sense. Yeah, what are treasuries doing? What's TLT doing? Obviously, yeah, I mean, obviously you're going to have some volatility, not too much. TLT is the 20, and that's not really moving as much as you would expect. It's really more about it's the dollar. It's that Dixie that's really flying around the most, and what it's doing to gold. Like if you think, the market, if you think the market wasn't doing well, like have a look at what's going on to gold. Like we are down at 388, down 2%. Remember, we're up. Gold was up and has been trending down. The U.S. dollar strength is really weighing on gold. For those asking where the poll is at, Warsh of Wall Street's winning 32%. To Wishy-Washy number 2 at 28%. Kind of a tie between Task Warsh and the Warshinator, with Warshing Machine bringing up the rear on the poll. I'll end that in about a couple of minutes here, but it is pretty close. Warsh of Wall Street looks like it's going to win out. Chunks a pat? New Zealand dollars. Thank you. Peace deal signed Friday. Is it? We'll see. MU hold above 1,100 before earnings. Should I hold SPY?
Yeah, I see that.
751 calls July 10th over the long weekend. Look, I can't tell you what to do with your trades. We're not here to give financial advice. All we are ever here to do is tell you what we see, look at some price levels, tell you what we're trading, and the why of it. I'll give in regards to Micron, I'll let you talk if you want to talk about the options, that's fine.
Absolutely.
Now, when it comes to Micron, all I've been saying this entire time is the last earnings, it dipped 25 to 30% despite blowout numbers. And the last pullback off the highs was a similar pullback. So in the regard that it seems like it's trending back up, I'm just looking at this trend line. If we continue to go higher, then a pullback on earnings will kind of lead you back into the trend line. If it doesn't go higher, then we lose trend. On a reasonable dip after earnings. I just don't, like when I look at what's been happening, and this is throughout the history of this crazy parabolic move up, doesn't it feel like Micron's where NVIDIA was at 2 or 3 reports into the great move? Where we know the numbers are going to be gigantic, but the market just stopped caring, and it started getting sold off or just not moving at all. This is where I feel, it just feels like that's where Micron is at. Are they going to blow out earnings? Yeah, probably. Are we going to go gaga over the numbers? Yeah, almost certainly. Mm-hmm. Is the market going to reward it with double digits? It hasn't been doing so. But it's been rewarding you with the buy the dip. So that's where I stand. I just like the pattern more than anything else.
Yeah, I'm going to just give it to you, just literally plain Jane, man. Come up with a plan. There's nothing wrong. If you have the ability to extract profit from the markets, take it. It's that simple, really. I'm not going to, we don't give you financial advice, but I'll tell you one thing from experience. When the opportunity presents itself with a lot of things in life, you try to take advantage of it. Here it is on Robinhood, guys, 11 and 4/10. Let's see if we can get this bounce. We're going to get out break even. I did remove half of the position up here waiting for the imbalances. So that was a really nice trade for us considering. But now it's starting to come back in. So if we don't get that rebound, I got to get out now there. Bang, as a Prince 30s. We're flat on it. We took half off. I wanted a breach of 108. Doesn't look like it doesn't look like we were going to break it at that point. But a nice little recovery on this bad boy. Now we're going to probably head to the south side. How many more? Oh, okay. Yeah. There. Anytime. All right, guys. We're going to send it over to. Listen, this is the new hot commodity here. It's Juan and Adara.
We saw him at 11:30 to talk about the European close. Now here he is, as every day, at 3:30 to talk about the Asian markets. How are you doing this afternoon, Juan? What can you tell us about these Asian markets?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much, Adara. So here's a little bit of a recap on the Asian markets. We saw a lot of major capital rotations, investors favoring that of AI hardware as well as semiconductors, especially in South Korea and Japan. We see the South Korean Kospi up by 1.58%. It's a new peak. SK Hynix, they it jumped by about 5.8% on high bandwidth memory demand, and also the upcoming talks with OpenAI's CEO, Sam Altman, coming up. So that's something to watch out for. However, the Hang Seng in Hong Kong, they fell down to an 11-month low. And that liquidity exit was mainly in Tencent and Xiaomi. Funds were shifting from regional hardware leaders. So what to expect at the open for the Asian markets later on today? Of course, the Fed policy watch, that's going to be a huge topic. We got to expect some spike yields as well as maybe some challenge in the tech giants, especially in South Korea and Japan. And the Nikkei 225 also expect, strong export data suggesting that it might breach or push past the 70,000 mark. So that is something interesting to look out for.
Lots to watch at the Asian Open. Thanks again to Juan for being here with us. You can catch him again 11:30 a.m. every day for the European close and 3:30 for the Asian market review. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Juan.
Newest member of the Trader TV Live team. We're always getting bigger and better.
Yeah,
Always. That's how we roll. That's how we roll.
You know what I call him? I call him Soto.
Oh, yeah.
That's his name. Soto.
Well, I like the, we got Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan.
You know what they said? Get it? Did you see what they said? So Obi-Wan Genobi.
Obi-Wan, oh my God.
Obi-Wan Genobi.
I like it.
Right.
I'm a Star Wars
Who's
person.
the Kenobi?
I'm Genobi. It's Genobi. It's Genobi.
Oh.
It's Obi, it's Juan, and it's Genobi.
But you're not Jen. You're Joe. Like, I don't know. I feel like that name confuses me.
Well, look, it's close.
Sucks, Joe. All right, man. Thanks. Yeah, I'll stop. I'll stop
somebody
while
say
I'm
it
man.
sucks?
Yeah, it sucks. Yeah.
Wow.
I'll stop
Not
while I'm
cold. You know, sometimes the chat can be cold.
Yeah, I mean, not sometimes, all the time. They're very cold. But some days we tolerate it and we have a lot of fun. Because I know some people are only joking. If I know you're in the chat as a regular, then I know when you're joking. So yeah, I mean, there it is, guys. A nice little move on Robinhood. Now we're going to be looking at some of these imbalances. I don't know how TFC's a buy right now, Neil. I'm not going to get into it. Maybe you can give a little bit more context and answer to it. But 2.47 million to the buy side. We have 6 million shares traded here on the day. So that's something that I'm going to be keeping my eye on. Maybe we get a little bit of a continuation to the south side on this bad boy. How many more minutes? 18 more minutes until we get these imbalances. Yeah, it's bleeding, man. That's why I'm going to be looking to short it here, maybe leading into the imbalances. But we'll find what pins. Have you looked at Pinterest here today, Neil? Pinterest. How you doing?
I don't think anybody looks at Pinterest.
Oh, really? Yeah, I've never. I don't even know what it is, to be honest with you. I went on that website once.
What do you mean you don't know what it is? Okay.
No. You want to hear the honest truth?
I know what it is.
I went on Pinterest only because we were talking about it one day after the earnings report.
You know what it is. Don't tell me you don't know.
Brother, I don't know. Like, what is the objective of Pinterest? Like, you can see like designs, like interior design and stuff like that, like recipes and stuff.
I don't need to know what the objective it is to know what it is. I know what it is.
Yeah, it's a website. I can tell you that.
I don't use it, so I'm the wrong person to ask for the objective.
This chair is crazy.
I understand.
As I look at the two-shot, this chair is crazy and not doing any justice.
I told you man, Sean was complaining about that chair all day long. We sat down in the morning. I'm like, you might want to switch that chair. She was like, what? I'm like, yeah, Sean was having issues with that chair all day long.
Bro had a room.
And yet you sat down on it.
Yeah,
and still
I know,
sitting
man.
on it at 3:30 at the end of the day. You can't complain.
No, I can't complain.
You chose this. It's like we can't complain about the new Fed chair.
Ooh.
You chose this.
Oh.
You chose them. Market doesn't like it. Meta down 5%. We keep falling. Qs, low of the day. Yuck, and more yuck. We are definitively in the red at this particular point, so like pretty much nothing's held up here. I guess MCI is going to be nasty. Nvidia, dive. Didn't fix those dark pools. Tesla, good point. Tesla breaking lows, loses the $400 level. Tesla, yikes. This is not great for Tesla because on the SpaceX we rejected the 200. Now we lose the 50. If we could be consolidating underneath this 50 period instead of what I thought we had a chance to do, which was look at this little downtrend on the daily and break it out I thought we'd be doing more of the break it out side.
Ooh.
That's the good thing about a breakout. Hey, guess what? If it doesn't get through resistance, you don't have to take it long. So it's looking pretty nasty. And that's why cash is a position if you raise some.
Yep.
Some things are looking pretty good, though. Just going to throw this one out there.
Oh, that's crazy. Pull up JPM. Pull up JPM, Neil.
Boy. JP Measy,
Yeah,
JP Morgan,
JP Measy.
Jock and JP.
Ooh.
It's up 0.3% today.
Oh, man,
But
what
the
happened?
daily chart is it's impressive.
Oh, it fell from grace.
It did lose the all-time high break though. That is a rejection. That's a
It
rejection.
did. Yeah. Absolutely.
That is a rejection of the highs. And this is 100% true. So let's throw that super chat up here.
Yeah.
I tend to agree with this.
Well, I don't know who
From
Adair
I love you,
is.
Gina. I don't know who Adair is, but Adara is. Obviously means Adair.
Obviously means Adair,
Obviously
yeah.
Adair.
But
Thank
we
you to person in the chat.
I love
Appreciate
Gina.
I
it.
love you, Gina.
I love you, Gina, always.
I love you, Gina.
Oh, that's very nice. That's very nice.
sounds-
He probably made that for it sounds like,
like a-
their partner or
yeah.
their spouse.
Or maybe like your daughter. I don't know. But
What if
that's
it's-
really cool. That's cute.
Yeah.
And obviously we all agree with that.
What?
That Adair is the goat.
Oh, yeah, okay, all right. That
Well,
didn't matter.
actually, there is another goat.
That's so scary.
Where's he at? It's not even a
Yeah,
goat, man. Like that's the. It's if you look at it really closely.
cat.
Look,
Ah, it's
not even
a
a-
sheep, man.
it's a sheep.
Yeah, it's a good one, man. Maybe we need to get a new
So,
version.
and it's blatantly a sheep too. Like it's not even close.
All right, are you ready for this, Neil?
Yes.
We're gonna
No?
try. We're gonna try this right at the volume weighted average price.
Context?
We have Robinhood.
Okay.
We're gonna try for a little bit of a bounce here and see if we can catch that. Bang! There we go. A nice little uptick. I mean, this is a big time counter trend trade with not too many signals displaying, hey, we're ready to bounce. But we have an out, right? Like that's like 40 cents worth of risk. Let's see if we can get a little bit of a movement here for us today, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. We're printing 90s. That's pretty good. We'll take that right out the get-go. A VWAP bounce on this bad boy. But running into the back end of this trend there, Neil, is this specific name. So let's see if we can break and head a little bit higher as we are now nearing in on the imbalances, approximately 13 minutes to go, blast off. As my one little cousin would always say, he's hilarious, to the rescue. And let's see if, yeah, it's so cute, man. We just say running around with all his toys, to the rescue. And then there it is, Hood, 10.5% to the top side. Let's go, break the trend line, sit on the backside of 107, and we're gonna be looking to take a little bit of this position off, Neil.
I am looking at that TFC. I almost have to. We looked at the early look imbalances. We said Pinterest 2.8. Oh, where'd it go? Now it's gone. Okay, so that TFC is no longer a buy imbalance of 2 million shares. Well, I was interested because it was a buy imbalance in doing that. But it is now gone. Truist is no longer on the low care. I don't see it anymore. You do have, AMC's there for 800,000, but that doesn't seem like it's going to be enough to move it. And suddenly Pinterest, or potentially, wow, that's a bit of a crazy move from rocket companies, as that's getting absolutely flushed. But it's on here for a 2.3 million buy, so tend to look for things that are at, like a buy that's at the lows, or a, like a sell imbalance that's at the highs, are one of the things that I like, because then you take the reversal trade. So that one is setting up like it might be RKT, but we still have 10 minutes to go.
Selling pressure.
Until we get the imbalances for sure. Sam's, is BTC doing another nice rejection of the 20 EMA on a daily? I don't actually even have the 20 EMA, but if you're asking me what it's doing with an indicator, we can always look for ourselves. I don't use a 20. I try not to clog up my charts. On a daily chart, you will only ever see, well, I don't want to speak in certainties, maybe I'll change it at some point. I use the 50 and I use the 200, because I just want to see the big overall trend levels and not necessarily overreact. But that's just me. But if you like the 20, then keep the 20, for sure. No way SMCI just broke again. Of course it did. And now 5% down. Well, 4.5. 4.5% down. Like, is there anything that's holding up? I thought there could be. Nothing is holding up. SpaceX down at 192.
Yeah, nothing.
That's getting pumped. I think we already looked at Nvidia losing 204. At least it's above 200. AMD gives. AMD was strong this afternoon. It's still green, but now down at 512. They're absolutely getting smoked. Like, what? Is there anything? What about the SOX? Like, what's just the SOX L doing?
Lit up right now.
The SOX L, this is 3x. It's 3x, but it doesn't really matter. At the low, trying to break down. Not much is holding up very much. This is crazy. Yeah, well, not the best day. Hood's already at VWAP. Oh. Now I'm wanting to try this.
Well, I already did, Neil. The momentum, the momentum to the downside. Like, listen, so, yo, what's up, yo, said,
FOMO on that CI short.
What's up, yo, said, where's your stop loss, Joe? And I'm like, yo, what's up, yo? My stop loss, yo, is at 106.37, yo. And there it is. That's when we get out. It was only a couple of cents worth of risk. I wasn't going to hold it.
Another time.
Well, wait, I mean, his name is What's Up Yo, so I figured I would put as many yos in there as I possibly could. Otherwise, we don't really talking at that one. But yeah, no, we got all out of that, man, relatively quick. It was either going to bounce. It did work in our favor, but then we just get out of that one as quick as possible. Someone's asking me about Microsoft. We'll pull that one. We'll pull that one up there and see what we got going on. I don't know why I went over to the scanner, but Microsoft is a stock that is down 4% today. Holy Warsh.
And for anyone that's wondering why we're going down.
Why?
Look, there was never going to be a change, and we didn't get a change. But the fear for the new Fed chair, not the fear, but the concern or whatever, at least some of the chatter, was going to be that he was less about the Fed giving the dot plot, which is an indication where future rates are going. That's one of the ways they communicated. He's opening up a task force to look to possibly change that, which might mean we see less of the Fed's future intentions in print on a regular basis.
I like that.
Regardless of what anybody thinks of that, markets like certainty. They like to be able to price where we're headed. And getting the dot plot and having the Fed telegraph their moves is a part of that. So at least this was my theory going into this, was that if he expounded upon that, we might see some selling because the market likes that certainty and we're not getting it. And then you can throw in the fact that we are going into this, there was no change, but there's still that possibility of rate hikes by the end of the year, and possibly, according to some members, they're looking at 2.
Yeah, two rate hikes. It's pretty crazy. Someone's saying Caterpillar. The market is not going to like that whatsoever. But listen, man, I stick in the camp of we've been on some big time run. The market will find something in order to sell off. It'll come up with an excuse, and I'm not saying that this is the one, but you can see we're starting to pull off aggressively. I'm not even saying it's an excuse here for Microsoft, because Microsoft has just been, out of the larger market capitalization names over the past couple of years, has just been a horrible investment. And you know what, Neil, I really hope that NVDA doesn't fall into that camp. Now, from March of 24, like you're literally, so you're back at January of 2024 prices. If I want to get real nasty, then it's November of 2023.
Yikes.
So you know what I mean? Like that is not what you want, if you ask me from an investment standpoint, is take a 3-year step back. It's not good.
Some would consider a buying opportunity. I don't.
Yeah, if you have the cash, I think it's I'm just saying if you were a long-term investor prior to what we have now.
The problem is, like, as other things are dipping, it's like, okay, well, you get to choose. You buying Amazon on dips or Microsoft? You buying Alphabet on dips or Microsoft? And the problem is, everyone's choosing the others. And that's
let's do that. But let's ask yourself that question. Are you buying Amazon, Microsoft, or Google on the dip? If you only had to pick one of the 3, which one are you grabbing? Yeah, I think we already kind of did something like that.
That's implicit. I own more Alphabet than by a long shot over those other 2. Yeah. So like that.
Put it in the chat, guys.
That's been true for me for a long time, so it doesn't really make a difference.
Someone said DG said.
But I suppose it depends on like how far of a dip from here, like because.
We're like price right now. Right now, you had to buy one of the 3. What are you buying?
You could convince me Amazon, because I haven't. Let me just give it a second look at Alphabet here. Yeah, like if you had to tell me right now.
Like right now.
I might make an argument. It's not Microsoft, but I mean, I'll at least give a little bit of a look. To what are we, Friday charts? It's Wednesday for crying out loud.
Damn.
My charts are acting like it's Friday. At the 200, I mean, I generally prefer the 200 period moving average. I can make an argument. Look, I like Alphabet better, and I will forever own more shares of Alphabet than Amazon until something drastic happens. But I can make an argument for Amazon.
Okay.
Even if I really want to say Google, I can make an argument there. It's not Microsoft, though. But that's just me. And it looks like we could see our first red day on SpaceX. SpaceX is 5% down and continuing lower. So not looking.
Is it?
Like,
Wow.
what, you think it's going to rally in the next 15 minutes?
No.
I said
no,
this
I
yesterday,
think,
and then it did rally in the last 15 minutes. So yesterday,
No, I think it's a little bit of a shift here.
yesterday it did. This was it at 3:48, which is 3 minutes from now, and it bounced. What was that? Like $12 in that time. Does it feel different? Yeah, it feels a little bit different, but that's not any kind of a guarantee. Just because something happened the day before doesn't mean it's going to hold up again. And if you think that it's any better in the other Elon Musk name, it is absolutely not. So 4 minutes until the imbalances come out. Keep double checking. I suppose that it's still RKT. It's still going to be RKT up here for 2 million. A couple of penny stocks that really don't matter. Archer 1.4, 1.5. Pinterest is paired off. Could be interesting. Corning 1.3 million early look sell. These aren't gigantic numbers. Tomorrow we should see much bigger numbers on the imbalance locator. Right? Like it's a holiday on Friday. So Thursday will be the end of the week. It'll be the options expiration. A lot of the index actions that will have to happen. I mean, effective at the close at the end of, I think on Monday, it should be, it's the 22nd? Monday the 22nd? Probably right. Yeah, so we're going to see a lot of that happen tomorrow and could be pretty big. And remember, I should say this every single time. Just because we show the imbalance locator and in 3 minutes, we're expecting a buy of 2.3 million RKT or a buy on Archer 1.5 million. That neither means at 350 it will be that direction or that size or that it automatically goes up. It's a bit of a hint. And as a hint, like what I like to do with it most times, and unfortunately RKT is not this case, a buy imbalance, we'll see. Rocket companies, it's at the lows with a buy imbalance. It's not bouncing right now. But what I would look for is the closer we get, like if it holds this level here and breaks even just this on the 3 minute, let me zoom right in. Like this little local high on the 3 minutes, it's like 13.12. If it breaks that out, I just try to punch long if it comes out as a buy, or I can just jump into the trade, assuming it comes out as a buy, like put a stop order, and then if it comes out as a buy, I get triggered in, and then throw a stop at the low of the day, ride it for a momentum play. But that's presuming that this stays some kind of a bid. And not too much craziness to the upside in anything here today. So most of these things are going to be, like a lot of things are going to be at the lows. So I'd be looking for buy imbalances to revert. And this one just stands out. So with only 2 minutes, I'm probably just going to get that order in there and just take it on this break. And if it breaks before, I'm stopping out at the low of the day anyway. But it's just 13.12 here on our
NVDA. Yeah, a nice move there on NVDA, to be honest with you, off of those lows, that $204 marker. Man, I was looking at that, I'm like, holy cow, we're all the way down to 204 here on the largest company on the planet right now. That's crazy. And I've been saying this for quite some time. Worst case scenario for me personally is that this name falls into another Microsoft scenario. I mean, I think they're obviously completely two different things, but when you continuously, Neil, and I don't know what the issue is you have these blowout quarters, and I understand that we're forward looking, but the fact that the stock wasn't overly reactive on just continuous reports that you haven't even seen before, really, it kind of raises an alarm for me. $197, I think that's going to be broken on this one, and I think we're going to head into 185 at some point. And if it gets even uglier, then it's going to be south of 160.
Not a great chart.
But it's not at all, right? And then, like, if we're talking about all the hyperscalers' money funneling somewhere, where are you going to follow it? You would think it would be laying in NVDA's hands, but that's not necessarily the case. If we want to play the trickle-down effect as well, too, here's AMD, a name that I should have owned a long time ago, and I was thinking about buying it, but it's MU, the SanDisks, and the Microns, and the DRAM, obviously, with the ability to play multiple names, SNDK. man, these pullbacks are so shallow, and that's why I decided to buy some Google, is because I believe, regardless of them being one of the hyperscalers and spending all of this money, they are, I think, at the top of the monetization aspect of things. They have the most and the best outlook for getting a return on their investment the quickest, in my opinion.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you on that. I think that's why a lot of people would have answered everything in the same way. Okay, so imbalances are out. Let's cancel
there we
that
go.
because that obviously went down. Nvidia is a 2.3 million sell on Nvidia, 12 million paired. Amazon 1.3 million sell. FXI 1.5 million sell. DVLT is a buy, but Marvell is a 1.3 million sell on Marvell. That's big. Netflix 1.2 million sell. This is going to be an overall sell imbalance, obviously. Marvell would tend to stand out at 1.3 million to the sell side. What do we have as a total number? 2.4 billion sell on the market, 2.4 billion on the NASDAQ. If you care about the Dow, it's 500 million to the sell side, and the Mag 7, 700 million to the sell side. Not at all the way that you wanted to end things. No. Well, we got the new Fed chair. Well, we already had the new Fed chair, but it was his first meeting, and if we're judging by the price action, I'd say that speaks for itself. And it's not good.
Absolutely.
It's not good even a little bit. And Scott wants to know what the imbalance is on SMCI. Fairly quickly, I'll do this for you, Scott. 300,000 to the buy side. Sorry, 400,000, 398 to the buy side for SMCI. I can only just pull one up on my own, like the names I was tracking. I was only tracking RKT, but now I've put an SMCI for you. So, yeah. Not good.
Do you like PCG here, Neil?
Nothing really stands out.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking at these imbalances, nothing really stands out. Almost everything is immediately pairing. NVIDIA is pairing down there. PCG is only 1.1 million. That one I'd want to be bigger than what it is.
Yeah.
Kind of nothing burger. Marvell, if you're looking at something with notionally looks big, Marvell with a 1.3 million sell looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I usually lean toward the flip trade though. Like it's 352.
But it has 2.2.
Have that pair off. But the problem is, look, it's already
the pair volume.
It's already catching a bit of a bid.
What about the pair volume on that though? It was like 2 million something. Yeah.
It's already gone.
Yeah. Oh yeah. See, it's
remember I was telling you like, oh, at 55 it might pair. It paired off and jumped $2.
Yeah.
The problem with that trade is, we used to talk about that all the time, and now all of a sudden they're just pairing them off faster. So even getting that trade, you almost have to jump into it right away, which means you're holding it potentially for 4 minutes instead of 30 seconds, which I don't necessarily like. Like I love that hold it for 30 seconds, get the win, as opposed to trying to get more. Having to hold it for 4 minutes long, based on an imbalance trade, is a bit of a.
Oh, there it goes.
You want a gimmicky.
Oh, okay. It's starting to.
PCG.
Yeah.
Well, there go. I thought you meant the market.
No. I mean, the market is continuously going.
Just hit the low again on the NASDAQ.
Yeah, hit the low again. I'm waiting for this. Man, I mean, holy schmoly, woly poly. Man, this. Oh, there it's gone, man. And I don't want to chase this. Maybe I'll start. Yeah, Warsh out for sure. Oh man, okay, yeah, let's get involved in a little bit here, Neil, just because it's a little bit of a chase on my behalf, but I'm okay with it, to be honest. I'm not going to cry home about it or write home about it. We can add a little bit more because I really want to get, PCG.
Oh, that PCG.
Yeah, just because I want to get involved with a little bit more at the $55 marker, which I'm okay with, right?
It's only a mil, but...
Yeah, it's nothing crazy. I mean, let's see what we got going on. A couple lots here and there.
Yeah, just so everyone can see, PCG is a 1.1 million sell imbalance.
It just broke through a key support level that I kind of like right now, but I'm willing to add at 55 as well here to see what we got
at low of the day.
Yeah.
1.1 million to the sell side. Market is also following. Might have missed Cisco. Cisco is also 1.4 million sell. Almost everything is a sell. It's just, no, this is not what you wanted to see. I suspect if we didn't hear much out of it, we got the whole, was it whatever? It was whatever from the president. Literally a whatever. I think we might hear a little bit more tomorrow. What do you guys think? I think we'll hear more from the president about the first press conference. More than just whatever. But there it is. Actually, NVIDIA just grew to 3 million. Like that got bigger. I don't think that holds. We'll see. It's almost 355. Remember, when I say 355, it doesn't mean things always flip then. It's just very often imbalances will pair off at 355. So yes, NVIDIA grew, but it's already starting to pair even more than that. So watch out for 30 seconds. It could be a big one.
Oh. Yeah, I should have waited till 55.
All that winning.
We have to win more.
Well, at least we're not at the low of the day.
Yeah.
Look, see, if you watch me make it look even better than it is. If I zoom in further, no, it doesn't make it any better. Well, we tried to hold the low of the day there. We'll see. The other thing, too, I want to keep in mind, we're down 1%. The NASDAQ is down 1%. 355 just said, look where we are compared to the highs.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. I know a lot of stocks might look really bad, but it's not that bad. That PCG, I don't even see it anymore.
No, it's not great.
It's now gone. So the PCG's not there anymore. NVIDIA paired off. Shocker, NVIDIA paired off. This is what happens this time of day. Almost everything paired off past that 1 million mark. And the market is catching a bit of a bid. So all that sell and bounce at 355 pairs off, and you get a little bit of a bounce. And again, when I'm saying that the market's only down 1%, do whatever, everyone can do what they want. There's plenty of individual names which don't look very good, but the SPY, the NASDAQ, this is a bit of a drop in the bucket kind of moment. It's not the end of the world. And there's plenty of things that are looking really strong today. Robinhood's a great example, up 9%. ARM is a great example. That'll be up probably 6 now. Was 7 before. All-time highs today on ARM through all of this. So why not? Plenty of opportunities out there. There's a bull. What do they say? There's a bull market somewhere.
That's what our guy Jim Cramer always says.
Jimmy Chill, man.
Jimmy
Chill.
What's up from Philadelphia? It's time for the lightning round.
I grew up on
the lightning round.
No, look, man. I'm old enough. I'll admit, I'm old enough that I was watching Kudlow and Kramer when I was young.
I don't even know who the first guy is that you just.
You don't know Larry Kudlow?
No.
Dara, you know Kudlow.
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
You know Larry Kudlow? No?
I didn't hear you.
Kudlow?
That's it, man.
Larry Kudlow and Kramer? Larry Kudlow?
The fact that you had to say it like millions of times.
I was going to say something, on Fortnite.
Literally, the fact that you had to say it millions of times just said, no, it's that.
I have something on Fortnite here. I mean, it's nothing massive, but we know earlier today they did drop here. There were some reports of what people were calling a Fortibleed, or I guess a breach into Fortnite. That's what it was being called online. Again, just allegations. Now Fortnite coming out here and warning of credential harvesting campaign, which targeted its firewalls and VPN gateways. Apparently, hackers used data from prior incidents and what they're calling brute force attacks. Apparently, this activity is not related to any recent incident or advisory. But yeah, it looks like some more security woes and breaches on Warsh for Fortnite, unfortunately. Back to
like the macro guy. Thank you very much, Adele. I was just explaining, like Kudlow was like the macro guy.
Let's pull this guy up.
Kramer was.
Let's take a look at.
I don't listen to him anymore. Look, man, it's been years
where
since I've listened. I have no idea.
Where are you listening to?
I think he's still on Fox. It used to be a show on CNBC. This is years ago, dude.
Yeah, dude.
This is years and years ago. Let me just get that out of the way. Years and years ago.
Yeah.
It's been a minute.
It was
a great show.
This is bro right here.
I just feel like when you're young, you want to know more about the markets and the economy.
Well,
I felt like
when you're young, man, I wish I knew about this stuff when I was in my early. I didn't know.
Listen to it too.
I didn't know about this stuff. I wish I learned about this stuff from the beginning of high school.
There's a few of my buddies from high school. Not just
that you guys were watching Kramer and Kudlow in high school.
I knew people that this is probably more university past then, but yeah, why not, man?
In high school?
In university,
no, like this is a genuine. Okay, yeah.
Me,
like it's a genuine question. Because I wish I knew.
I would have
about
started
that
like probably, closer to like the end of university more than anything else. But yeah,
bro, I was watching Game of Thrones and Lost in college, man.
Look, I also watched nonsense too.
I didn't know about this stuff.
I also watched Monday Night Raw. Like, I'm not sitting here acting like I was a gigantic
No.
nerd.
There's nothing wrong with that either, man. Hey, we like it.
We used to roll when I was in university. I'm telling you, Monday Night Raw and 12 soft tacos from Taco Bell, 59 cents a taco. Because you broke is what, and it's about calories per percent.
You did get how
many calories can I get per cent?
How many soft tacos are you crushing?
Usually minimum 10.
Wow,
my maximum was 21.
You're lying.
Yeah, I ate 21 soft tacos.
Wow, that's crazy.
It's disgusting, but I did it, and I was a student. And look, man, track practice and.
I'm not nerd shaming anyone. I think that's fantastic stuff. I'm an options nerd. What do you expect?
Adara?
Yeah, keep an eye here on Apple. As we head to the closing bell, I'm hearing that Apple is preparing a second-gen iPhone Air to be released in spring 2027. Yes, guys, another Apple-related release date. This one's spring 2027 for that iPhone Air.
Yeah.
Thanks, Adara. I was just trying to explain. That was over the course of like a decent amount of time. By the way, we're about 15 seconds from the close.
Yeah.
Brought to you by VinFast. That's ticker VFS. Check them out. Scan the QR code. Want to thank them for sponsoring the closing bell on the. Well, successful or not, it was the first Fed day for our new chairman. The market didn't seem to like it too much, unfortunately. The NASDAQ going to close it out here. Down just shy of that 1% it was. ES 1.2%. You're actually worse off on the SPY here today than you are the NASDAQ. So some of tech holding up a little bit better. We did have a super chat right at the end of the day, which is probably mocking me for my age. Yeah, that's what it looks like it is. Green Trail, I think Neil is trying to say it was years ago. I was trying to say that.
I think he literally said that.
I did say that over and over.
Yeah. But thank you, Greg Trail, very much for that one. No, but yeah, I like the taco record there, man. I remember, quick story. So my friend and I, we lived in this town called Bradford, and the closest Taco Bell was in Newmarket. So we wouldn't like eat all day, and then we would ride our bikes. And this is like probably like 25-kilometer bike ride as a kid with no gears, and just go there and eat the Taco Bell because that was the closest one.
59 cents, man.
What? Really? Back in the day?
Though when they had the deal, they had 59 or 69 cents.
On like Tuesday,
I think it was 69. Yeah, I forget what day it was, but yeah, they had deals. I think I'm not eating that many. I'm eating that many because it's cheap.
Because it's cheap. Okay, I didn't. I thought maybe this was like the average Friday night in like the college dorm.
It was just like that. They had a deal, and you don't have money.
Yeah. So
you do that, and you save up, and you invest in the markets. Well,
did you reheat them and like put them in the fridge and then come back?
Extra hot sauce.
All right.
Most of the time. Just want to remind everybody here. Want to thank you for tuning in. It's always fun on a Fed day every single time. But remember, tomorrow is the end of the week.
Oh,
so when we come back tomorrow, it's end of the week. That means it's expirations. We're going to have some market events at the end of the day. It'll be the post-Fed move. It'll be the post-first red day for SpaceX, down 4% on the session. So a lot to watch. Of course, the market being down a point is not going to help. We'll see if we get any kind of reaction to the president tomorrow. A lot to look forward to. I want to thank everybody for all the super chats, all the kind words, the jokes, the nicknames. Yeah. Apparently, we're going to go with the Warsh of Wall Street, according to the poll. So we'll throw that one up there. Oh, is that what the poll was? Big shout out to Adara, like always crushing it on Fed day. I mean, she crushes it every day, but Fed Day is especially fantastic. So thank you, Adara. Thank you to the entire team. Thanks to Joe for filling in for Sean. He'll be back tomorrow. I'm sure the Post Malone concert was amazing. We're Trader TV Live, and we will see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Ooh, look at that. Hasta la vista.